Alright. That might help. Alright. I totally forgot. There we go. For sure up and running. Alright. How you folks doing? I'm doing good. I know that for a fact. I got my coffee. Got an unexpected day off. I'll take it. And yeah, as you can see, got Oblivion going. So yeah, let's get ourselves lost in the land of Cyrodiil. How does that sound? I think it sounds like a wonderful idea, personally. Especially since I got like my Akaveri Daikatana that is... Oh yeah, I still have yet to ditch shit. Or at least enough shit to be able to... Sooner or later, I will have Mer Oblivion set up. Oh wait, it might help if I tweet out the stream. Oops. What can I say? It's been one of those days of actually trying to find someone to join me. So have someone to talk to and whatnot. But unfortunately, no one was available. That happens. That is a fact of life. Copy video. Alright. I could name it random attack at the live. I totally goof. Well, that works. Oops, sorry. I can fix that later. Anyway. Alright, I'm live. Oblivion. And there we go. Alright. There we go. Got that all set up. That set up. Well, I probably got shit on me I could sell too. That's a sad thing. Wait. Wrong living area? Alright. Go there. Out to the balcony. Alright. And where should I go? Skingrad, Anvil, Bruma, Kavach, Purple City. Let's go on Purple City. Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Like, did it spawn me in? The actual? No, it didn't. Not that it really matters. The main reason why I joined the Mages Guild every time would be so I can basically alright, I get it. Alright, I'm gonna try this again. Sorry. wait, what? Why did it do? It was supposed to. There we go. Uh, uh, oh, word. Very good to know. Alright. Also, and paste. Booyah. Spread the love. Spread the love. Alright. Now. Yeah, I was torn. I didn't know what to play. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to play some Oblivion or if I wanted to play some MGS 5. Obviously, I chose this one. I might switch that at some point. Might even get some Don't Starve in. Still kind of mad that I can't get Saints Row 2 to work. Because I would really get down on that. Really get down on that.
How do you do? It's my pleasure. Please continue.
Alright.
Bye.
Let me. Got to make sure I have repaired everything. Oh, everything is repaired. Okay.
I'm Bernardo.
Yeah, I know you're Bernardo.
Have a look around.
Buy
you won't find
my
better prices in all
useless shit.
Tamriel.
Sucker! Yes. Oh, yes.
An excellent bargain.
Yes.
You've made a good,
Give me all them
fine
ducats.
transaction.
Give me all of them. Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, wait, no, because I got a dwarven bow now.
A good price
That's
for
right.
a good customer.
Take the mace.
That's more than I'd usually.
Take
A good price.
the axe. You ain't taking my enchanted Akaviri katana. Not gonna let that happen. Yeah, it's level 3. 21 gold. Hey, it's 21 more gold. Hey, and I leveled up. Nice.
That's a good deal.
And
An excellent bargain.
now to sell the rest of the shit I don't need.
That's
Leather armor's great if you're planning on using the
you got a great
set you get from the
a
Dark
fine
Brotherhood.
transaction.
But at the same
You
time,
got a
I'm
great
just
deal
saying, don't need it. Seems I don't need any of this anymore. I'm
fine
rocking
transaction.
Dwarven. No, you ain't getting my Dwarven set.
You've made a good bit of gold.
Totally rocking Dwarven. What I really can't wait to get to the Dwarven shield. That'll get enchanted. And those need to be dumped. That can just be sold to script. That is just taking up space. Itch. Ooh. And okay. There we go. Now I just
Tell
need
your
to
friends about me.
see how much space did that actually clear up? Did it clear up enough? No, I'm still at the. Well, I can ditch half of this junk.
Bye.
You know, I'm at the Imperial City. I'll just hit the waterfront district and level up there. Sign when somebody has played a little too much Oblivion. Dude, this game's got like 5,000 hours combined on it with me. That's right. Toots forgot that I actually have a Thieves Guild mission going. Always do the Thieves Guild first, so you can get the Cowl of the Grey Fox. This way everything else that you need to do after, from that point on, basically, is pretty much set. You got the cowl to protect you from, you know, if you gotta really do something stupid. I've had to really do some stupid stuff. Oh wow, I totally forgot I got all this extra like food in here. All this needs to be moved out to the one Froshrog Spire. Cause do 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 because I don't care about any of that. What I care about soul gems. Do you? No. All right. I might just. You know what? Let's see. That can stay. I'm not. That shit's really worth it. But the food, all that food, needs to come with me. Uh, Come on. Got more food than I know what to do with. Comes to waterfront districts, I don't have to go to Frostrock Spire. Starts going through stuff. I need to take all this out to Frostrock Spire. I guess take full advantage of the fact that I got the God mode on currently, I guess. Don't like it, but that's why I'm trying to get rid of stuff. Granted, that's also why I'm picking up more stuff so I don't have to worry about trying to deal with it later. Like, oh, my 50th turn. Why don't I just turn on God mode and be done with it? If it was, if it was Skyrim, my enchantments are so insane on that game that I end up running through with, like, armor that ups my carry to where I could never drop shit and I'd be fine. And that's the sad thing. 33 rat meat, wow. Dupe. Come on. See, I'm the type of guy that'll go to every, and I mean every alchemical shop in an area, clean it out, and then store all of it for when I need those specific supplies to make, X potion or whatever. Which main thing I do is like healing pots and whatnot. A lot of poisons. A lot of poisons. I'm not even gonna try to say I don't do that. I'll still my books, Wakelet Zone, Alien Statue, Silver Nuggets. I'd feel a lot safer with these actually. That'll do. Alright, let me get my. Screw it! Give my guy a good 8 hours worth of shut eye. Definitely. Oh, nice. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Rank. Now I have to choose intelligence. Agility's useful. Don't get me wrong. But I can also get, once I have enough, basically, black soul gems, it won't matter. It really won't frickin' matter. Because I'll just have, like, everything so heavily enchanted, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright. Like, you think the Boots of Spring Hill Jack are... Also, there is a way to where you can act, and I've done it before, where I've accidentally did it right to where the enchantment stayed, and so I went through the rest of the game with, like, an extremely stupid level of agility. Ooh, excuse me. Alright. Foot falling asleep anyway. See, no, this shit needs to go up to the... Yeah, right here. Probably the best spot for it. Yep. No, and... Now to get everything that I just grabbed from See, the one downside to like Oblivion and Skyrim and whatnot is you'll end up with 50 million houses, and sometimes you'll just drop shit in a house because it's the literally you're in the town, it's there, you don't want to be carrying it anymore. And then when you need that item, you spend the next like hour searching all your houses to finally find it. And you're like, oh god. And this is why I generally try to have one house for everything. The main house, if you will. Mainly because of the fact that I don't want to be having to deal with this right here later. If I just drop all my supplies off at the main house, which in Oblivion for me it's either the Skingrad house or the uh Froststrike Spire. Actually, I love Froststrike Spire. I think the fact that it's out in snow and shit like that. The only reason why I like the Skingrad house is because it's a really freaking nice house. I don't care what anyone says. It's a really freaking nice house. Like, oh my god, I wish I still had the save. I wish I still had the save. But at one moment in time, I had on my Xbox a save that was pretty much the Skingrad house was like all my houses really were decorated just insanely well. I was proud of it. That's my own fault. Like all things, you do stupid shit. Was it play stupid games, win stupid prizes? Yeah, real talk. Do stupid shit, have stupid friends. Well, to quote Sensei, you want to see your future, look at your friends. That will tell you exactly where you will end up. Shame, but it's true. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing does have a like legit tower. Not that it really matters right now. It's all dark and cloudy out, so. Alright. Yeah, I'll stick that shit in here. I can go in there too. Sorry. Ah. My hair's this weird stage where it's like not all of it is long enough to be pulled back into a ponytail. So I'll have like random scragglers that'll just kind of go every which way, and then it'll touch my face and like itch. Oh, it itches. I can't remove that. Alright, and oh, oh, you see that? You see that? It's almost there. Almost there. Sup, Gorgonite? Almost where I no longer have to worry about carrying fucking. Alright, the books have got to go. All this shit can go. Bloodstain, no. Burning touch, go. Horse armor note. Oh, hold on to that. Manual of armor, manual of arms, minor respite tomb, unless I don't know it. I'll hold on to that. Anything else I can frickin' get rid of? Let's see, I might use that, actually. As you see, the ever, if you will, ever going struggle for space. Yeah, we'll call it that, space. Dink, dink, dink. You know what's funny? I did that entire quest without even putting on the Imperial breeches or dressing knife. It was hilarious. Bye bye. You can go. see. And bye bye iron arrows. I'm almost there. I mean, come on. Almost got myself to where I don't have, you know what I mean? A lot. Like, I am literally 14 pounds too heavy. So I could finally shut off. I need to get my heavy armor up. What is my heavy armor at? That is a good question. What is my heavy armor at? Because that's part of my frickin' problem. And that explains a lot. My heavy... Well... Yeah, yeah, alchemy is surprisingly fun. And it's funny you mentioned how you try not to get into it. I just twinked from the waterfront district house to this house. All this. All of it. All the ingredients you're seeing here? Yeah. I took full advantage of the fact that I had the God mode on currently still. I can't wait to get rid of it. I really can't. But in due time, I'm almost there. But as you see, it's one of the many reasons why I love Frost Strokes Fire. Alright, so... let's see. What quest line am I currently on? That's completed. Current quest in this direction, yeah. I don't know, I might not play this for too much longer. Mainly because this is what I was mainly, like, I'm planning on ending with this when I really, like, alright, I've streamed everything, time to go back to the games. It just allows me to chill. Best way I can describe it. I've always liked that about Oblivion. Like I said, dude, I've gotten like 5,000 hours in this game. All in all, it's stupid. It's a constant, like, everything I've played. Alright, let's see. Now to the other game I was really wanting to play. I should hold off on that. Like, I want to play some Phantom Pain, but man, I am not in the mood for that grind. I am really not in the mood for that grind. Worst grind ever. It's not even worst grind. It's just that I'm trying to get my I'm trying to get my units up to where I can get the like I want the pistol, the trank pistol with the built-in noise suppression, and you need a noise suppression specialist. But I need to get through. I need to get all my teams up in other areas. Oh man, it's so frustrating. Might as well, at least for the time being. And propertize. Okay. Go figure. Alright. And then okay, we'll try this again. There we go. Alright, good to go. Alright. Oh, wait. I just wait until it's at the title screen. Hey, I don't blame you for doing that, Gorgonite. Alright, like, there's a reason why my, Nephilim's End, for instance, account is different from my main account. Mainly because of the fact... I didn't... Oh, wait, You'll have to remind me of that. Mainly because of the fact that, well, I'm hardly ever on Minds and Gab, and they're not set up on my Chrome, which is what I'm currently using. Which is, dang, there we go. Had to get back to having Chrome actually up. It's like it's weird. I don't know why there's a delay on the stream. It just always is. Ouch, sorry. Want to make sure that the game's working right once I get it uploaded. See, where am I? First off, where am I? What's this? Prisoner extraction? Fuck it.
Marker placed.
Is that one of the climb spots? I don't think so. Yeah. No. Huh. Oh, okay, long since destroyed tank. I'm like, not walking up on that one. That's for sure. Glad you messaged. Oh wow. Like, apparently, huh? See if I can fix that a little bit. Well, I don't think I can. That's just, huh? But yeah, no, I don't blame you, because let's just be honest. Twitter is nowhere near what it, like, oh, I'm going in the exact opposite direction. But Twitter is nowhere near what it should have been, or could have been. Like, let's be honest, Twitter reached that point where it was just like, it got too involved in the culture war. That is the best way to put it. Without going in deep detail, it got too involved in the culture war and stopped being a business. And we can leave it at that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Clouds approaching.
I don't see anybody around it. I might be stealing me a Jeep, cause fuck walking. And... No! No, oh well. I may be so used to stealing shit that it is, whoops. I mean, I could have it come back, but why? I could easily just fucking... It's currently equipped, alright. But, either way. Am I going up? Yeah, okay, I'm going the right direction. Going the right direction.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I'm just kind of disappointed because I'm looking at the stream and seeing the, like this game, pretty game, but I can't stream it apparently, because it does not like to be streamed. Like every now and then I'll hit that spot where it'll be like, yeah, I'm not gonna be an asshole. And then it'll turn around and be like, we're gonna be an asshole again. Let me see, who do I got there?
Analysis
Oh,
marker
fuck yeah.
placed. Analysis complete.
I think that's the thing, but not him. After the thought.
Marker placed.
There we go.
Marker removed.
You can die for all I care. Oh, oh, come on. And, oh! Figure I'm gonna take this and then, you know, you got a point there. But let's not even act like that ain't some, like, high tier level
Enemy
truth right
presence
there.
detected. The map has been updated.
You know, but whatever, either way, I'm trying to, like I said, when I stream less culture war, more comics, vidya, you know, cool stuff. That doesn't involve needless, you know what I mean, raising of one's, oh yeah, definitely getting him. The needless raising of one's blood pressure over, let's be honest, shit that really doesn't matter. I mean, and like you said, you know, basically, Twitter is filled with people who were never told no as a kid. That is the best way to describe it. Without going into like extreme culture war, Twitter is full of people who were never told no as a kid, and because of it, they are basically they don't know how to handle it when they are told no. They don't know how to handle it when they hear a difference of opinion because, you know, I remember getting my ass handed to me a lot as a kid. And, you know, it's one of those, I'll admit, their whole, like, talking point of it's not your fault, it's their fault. They were just, oh, I guess best you could say, uncultured swines who didn't understand and la da da da. Nope. No, they knew exactly. They knew exactly what they were doing, and you know what? Some people, as bad as it sounds, bring it on themselves. I brought it on myself. And you know what makes it worse is then you have those who hear that rhetoric and instead of going, hey, you know, that's pointless, they just follow it. And it's like, you know what? That's why we're walking away from it, because those people are showing themselves to be what they are. No point being involved in the culture war. We win the culture war by not having to talk about the culture war, by not talking about it. Because like I stated before, every time we talk about it, we give them power. Let's not talk about it. Let's worry about making some good soy reticuloid free comic book, something that we, or vidgya games or whatever. Instead of being, I guess you could say, instead of looking at everything and only seeing the things we hate, let's look at it and start seeing the things we enjoy again. Like, yeah, okay, I agree. It sucks. Ooh. El Wolfos. I don't want to kill you, Wolfies. Okay, I don't know how that works, but, oh, right, I don't, we don't talk about that. We do not talk about that. Their spines are amazing things made of rubber, not bone. Same thing with these wolves. Rubber, not bone.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I thought I was hearing it.
Enemy presence detected.
Gee.
The map has been updated.
Right, and now let's see if they're actually worth it.
Analysis complete.
It might be useful. I'd rather him be an S, but he might be useful.
Analysis complete.
Alright, it's only got one thing, but it may be good. Maybe good.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Eh. And yeah. Thanks for your shit. I appreciate it.
Enemy presence detected.
Thank you for donating
Map
to
has
the,
been updated.
Diamond Dogs Fund. We appreciate every contribution you make. Every contribution you make.
Development project has been added.
I really also before I get running off even further. Supply drops, ammo.
Please have supplies requested. Supply
I
drop
really
complete.
do need to hit a checkpoint and then pop out because that's starting to drive me nuts with the way it looks on the actual stream. Yes, do it. Back some good old-fashioned cactus coyote. You need it in your life. Also, you need to not just back that, but also back T-Bird and Throttle, another good book. Deathsworn, Super Harem. I think, no, Niobe's not in demand. Little Girl Lethal's still in demand. Like, there's a lot of good books out there that are still in demand that if you have not gotten in your life, bruh, get you some good soy-free comics in your life. I'm just saying. You do not want to be letting them reticuloids spread their soy all over the place. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Enemy presence detected.
Yeah,
The
but
map
they
has
are.
been updated.
I knew it. And shame there's not a little thing I can climb to get up there. That's
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
alright. Sneak in, steal shit, sneak out. And by steal shit, I mean like kidnap everybody. Let's see. Yes. Beautiful artwork. Like, I want it in my life. And you should want it in your life too.
Analysis complete. Marker the map has been updated.
Good night. Good night, bruv.
Analysis complete.
Take him.
You gonna extract him?
Good night.
You have arrived at your destination.
thanks for the equipment, bruh. Thank you,
Subject
Gorgonite.
on board. Leave the rest to us.
So, do I want to go quiet and just shut it off, or do I really want to? Cause, like, dick them over bad and blow up the whole damn thing. I'm really thinking about dicking them bad and blowing up the whole damn thing.
Analysis
Instead of
complete.
just, ooh,
Marker
definitely want
placed.
you. Good night. Alright. Oh, dude, don't even... I've been asking what happened to them for a while, and, to be honest, nobody really knows. Like, I'm not even playing. Nobody knows what happened. Like, 1 minute they were here, next minute they were gone. And let's just say, and it's a shame really, because like Avid, all of them were like Comic L, so on and so forth, Ninja, good people. Really good people.
Weather will clear
Let's
shortly.
see. Just gotta figure out how to... Wow, something like that's how you do. Okay. Nope. Nope. Okay. Oh, come on. No. There we go. In case somebody does catch me. Like, but you know, dude, seriously though, I often wonder what happened to all of them myself. I actually asked, like, a week ago what happened to Ninja, for instance. Nobody knows. He just said he had some things he had to take care of, and then that was it. That was the last that we all heard of him.
You have arrived
To be
at
honest,
destination.
dude, I guess you could say it's just something that's gonna happen. I mean, not every, like, even I've up and disappeared for a while there myself. I mean, granted, I stayed somewhat around, but it wasn't like, you know, or I should say they did, where they just up disappeared one day and nobody knows why or whatever. I do too. I hope they are all doing okay. I think it's just back to the culture war, man. Back to the culture war. People, and you also got to take into account, like, a lot of these individuals were coming onto the scene right as, you know, CG was starting to gain traction and whatnot, and unfortunately a lot of these people got stung in one way, shape, or form by, you know, certain individuals who we've all talked about, but at the same time, you know, it is a sad and unfortunate fact of life, I guess you could say. Oh, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Go ahead, wake him up. Shit, they're waking up. Are you worth it?
Analysis
Yes, you are.
complete.
worth it?
Analysis complete.
Definitely.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
Come on. There we go. Good night. Now what the fuck was that again? Oh, it was the controller. Like, what the hell? And the sad thing is that's not even
Analysis
everybody
complete.
in this base. Majority of them, though, that's for sure.
You gotta extract him.
Oh god, nope.
Analysis complete.
Yeah.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete.
A++.
Extraction failed.
So who?
Analysis complete. Extraction failed.
Who keeps fucking popping it? I will find this motherfucker when I...
Sun will rise momentarily.
You gotta extract him.
Oh man.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Got two that are right by me. And
Analysis complete.
pretty much. It's, you know, one of those things, man. And there's the prisoner. The whole reason why I am even here. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot the whole reason why I was actually here. I was just like, capturing base.
He's coming too.
Full
Roger that.
Popo. Mr. Popo, I need to borrow the magic carpet so I can get to my friends and help. Making toast. But, oh, alright. Amber. Butter and toast.
We gotta extract him.
Don't know. Probably. Why you gotta judge me, Master Miller?
Project has been
I may
added.
be, you know, Phantom Boss, but I'm still the goddamn boss, damn it.
Analysis complete.
Good night.
Analysis complete.
Good enough. Come on.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
And clear. Still someone over here though, and some
He's coming too. Roger that.
stuff. Oh yeah, definitely some stuff. I need to take all that. No. Good night. Good fucking night. You worth it?
Analysis complete.
You actually are kind of worth it. So, and now to take your
We gotta extract him.
do. I'm not, you know, taking stuff. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You're not, oops, you're not seeing me do nothing. Nothing, there we go. I am just here being a good, sweet little angel. So not here taking all your shit. Not happening. I don't know what I don't know why you're getting mad. I don't know why you're getting mad. I'm just here doing a geological survey. That's it. I'm just saying. I mean, it's not. I'm not really up to trouble. I'm just kind of here. Just kind of here. Yeah, we'll go with that. And you. And you. Oh no, I did not mean to do that. I'm like, yeah, there we go. No more power. Okay, let's do that. And since I've pretty much taken everybody out, I don't think it really matters at this point. Alright. Hey, I'm just saying. If they didn't want their shit taken, they shouldn't have been flaunting it. I'm just saying. Having it all out there, looking so tempting. I mean, all I need is, 30 seconds, and I can get your, not even 10 seconds, and I can take control of your, whatever resources you have. So, I mean... Oh, change of music, you know what that means. just about anything, but alright. That's pretty much all that's left. Pretty much all that's left. And don't I meant to search all that, but alright, and then got to be kidding me. Bob victim blaming Jones. I sir do not victim blame. I just point out facts. Now if you know the victim just so happens to feel like I'm blaming them, well, I mean I can't help them there. I don't know what to say, don't know what to do. And he'll be falling asleep here in a minute. God damn. What, did they got you on like 3 types of methamphetamines or something? I'm just saying. Took like 3 tranks. What, do you do this shit recreationally? Like, hey man, I got that good shit, that horse tranquilizer and shit. Kinda looking at him like, what the fuck do you do? Like,
He's coming too.
how did... You know, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know how you got a hold of, like, horse tranquilizer and shit. Because just, well, you know, I don't really want to know why you have it. The dude's like, well, you know, just one of those things. I like to party.
Side ops list updated.
Looking at him like, yeah, apparently.
Analysis complete.
Party like it's 1999, even though it's 2019. Hey man, gotta have a dream. I wasn't, you know, I was only like 14, 15 in 1999. I missed out on that party, so I gotta make up for it. That's so you do horse tranquilizer, yep. And this is why nobody trusts you to watch their kids. That's a lot of truth. A lot of truth. I mean, I wouldn't trust me with my kids either. I like that. That's a lot of truth. Wouldn't trust me with my kids either. See, and that is... Good night! I like that. They're all like, I see nothing. Like, yep, that's exactly what you see. You worth it? And
Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
And if I can go ahead and get rid of the marker, I guess.
You have arrived at your destination.
Even though I've already... Should I leave the last guy? Should I leave the last guy? Let him be the one that tells everyone of the horrors that happened. He's the only one that really knows, even though only thing he witnessed was people disappearing. Just saying. And come on. Oh, there he is. And good night.
Analysis complete.
As far as I know, pretty much.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Fuck, alright.
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Well.
Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Alright. Let's have some fun. And then on the side. It's on the side.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Just shooting random explosive barrels on the way out.
Extraction arrived
Because, you know,
at
that's how
Motherbase.
I roll. Alright. All that for... It was funny, I was just like, ah! You know what's funny? I've read that and it's like, man, can't September 21st come already? And it's like, why? So you can laugh at all the people that died in Area 51? Because I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. They should have known better. I'm just saying. They should have known better. When I was telling my buddy about that, you know, the one from London, I was all like, well, you know, it's one of those. If they actually do it, it'll be the best mass display in Darwinism mankind has ever known, and we're all going to be laughing at them. Just pure and simple. We're just gonna laugh at them. Like I said, they should have known better. They should have known better. What kind of dumbass tries to storm a military base? Like, I'm half serious there. Like, what kind of dumbass does that? Like, you have to be a special type of stupid. I'm just saying. Like, that was just nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let's see. What to play now? Not really in the mood for Recore. It's a good game, just Let's see what cart games they got on Steam that are free to play. Cause you know, I mean, I have Sonic Racing on my computer. It's just kind of meh right now. I'm just gonna see. Hmm. 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 Wait a second. Well, there's nothing that's catching my eye in the realm of like kart racing. Uh, yeah. see. And not really in the mood for that either. Huh. I guess we'll have to... Problem with racing games is that like I want to play them, but I gotta have my music. But the problem with having my music is, well, you get the idea. People will be like, "We're taking money for this video." I'm not getting money anyway. Well, now somebody is. You motherfuck. All I did is listen to music while playing video games, you douchebag. Uh, I really don't know. Hmm. Mm. Alrighty, keep in touch. Alright, now to get back to what I was trying to... So, I wish I could stream Saints Row 2, because that game's like crack. Literal crack in video game form. So much fun and retarded. Ooh, I do need... And I did make a fresh pot. Be right back. I need to give me some coffee. I am so not popping in Fallout New Vegas. Mainly because I gotta install it. And I'm just kinda don't even... You know what? I know what I'll play. Yeah, we'll go with that. And let's see. Properties. Oh no, you got to go. Alright. And get that. And that. And then... Bloop. Alright. Douchebag. And you've just become the dedicated healer for the time being. Oh. I just noticed, and I know it's supposed to be like their pecs, but the way the sprites look, if you look at the men, it makes it look like they all got big old beer bellies is the right term, yeah. Especially Edgar. Edgar looks like he's got it. Look at that, look at that, how they dance around. Like, you expect to see, just saying. I thought I cured him. Oh, Setzer ended up. Antidote. There it is. Wait, I think I came here for a reason. Yes! Restock, actually. Don't do a thing. Okay, so it's a random, whatever. And nothing. Wait, I can always dig it out. Yeah, I think I will. Alright. This is gonna be tricky. One moment, folks. And I have returned. Right. Decided to... I haven't used this thing in years, so I decided to bust it out. And I'm not ashamed. So not ashamed. Hell. It's Final Fantasy, dude. It's freaking fun. And the sad thing is that somewhere I got the, one for the Chronicles 2, Final Fantasy Chronicles, which was 4 and Chrono Trigger. I think that one's out in the shed somewhere. I have to find it. Yeah, I just haven't bothered to dig it out, mainly because of the fact that, I mean, I like Chrono Trigger, but I'm not as big of a fan of, like, Chrono Trigger compared to, like, well, let's say, like, let's be honest, FF6 has always been my favorite. There we go. wait. How am I doing on supplies? Before I even go in there, I'm at 42 high potions. I am so not ready to try to even remotely try to get through Zozo. Where am I? Alright. And I'm not paying Zozo prices, because you're bound to get mugged. Literally, while trying to just get supplies in Zozo. Screw that. It's weapons. Ah, items. Ooh. That's all I have. Oof. How am I doing on Phoenix Down? 27. Everything else will have to do. I got 7 total percent. Plenty of tents, right? Yeah. Out of my way. Oh, mother. Eh. I think I've played too much Final Fantasy when I can do that with the music. Trying the noise blaster on him. And I just wasted a. Damn it. Oh well. Drill him. Fine, you douchebag! You stole a life! You stole my life! Do, 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 do. There it is. Doop, doop, doop. Did not. Oh well. I just got thinking about it. That's probably really loud. And this headset sucks, dude. I have to. It's either. Oh wait. Yes, I have. I have both of those games actually. That's the sad thing. Come on. Yes, come on, big guy. Ugh. Actually, oop. Let's see. Wait, I think. Double check. Apparently, the Breath of Death 7, I could have swore I had it on Steam. I know for a fact I have it on my Xbox Live. Oh, yeah, there it is. Breath of Death 7. And Cthulhu Saves the World. Yep, Cthulhu Saves the World. Got both of them. That's what I thought. I even have it's another like silly RPG, old school style. Like this one's more along the lines of oh, Legend of Gaia. Really good game. Really good game. If you haven't played that, you don't know what you're missing, dude. That game really was a lot of fun back in the day. Yeah, it's funny because back in the day we'd always be like, I can't wait till we see the games that they come out with when we're adults. We're gonna have all these awesome games, and yeah, I'm saddened by what has happened to our beloved hobby. Really saddened, actually. Like, our hobby was awesome back in the day. Now we just kind of look at it like, well, it was fun. Now we just kind of cry into our pillows at night because SJWs have ruined it. Everything's problematic. And I do mean everything. Ugh. Let's see. And Harley's doing her job, that's for sure. I don't know what to. Like, I really don't know what to play. Like, and this is what gaming is like with me. It's finding that right game that I'm actually in the mood to play at any given point in time. And it'll be like the weirdest game. That's why I've been playing so many like old school like Metroid. If that capture card had worked right now, I'd be playing some Super Metroid, pure and simple. Super Metroid. That or like some classic fucking Link to the Past. I even got Donkey Kong Country. All right, I would be playing that shit, or I'd be having the PlayStation hooked up and be playing through some FF12. So I got Maxima over there. I mean, I know I got a few PS2 titles, like I said the other day, the original Burnout on PS2. Burnout Revenge would be the main one I'd probably get down on the PlayStation 2. And then I'd end with Phantasy Star Online on the original Xbox. All my, like, I'd stream, like, Halo 2 and shit. Yeah, you can hop. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, you don't like it? But I did it just for you. Because I'm an asshole to my cat. So, the gray on my chair is from where my cat keeps trying to, uh, if you will, sharpen his claws back there and refuse to listen when I tell him stop it. So I was like, alright, I'll fix your little red wagon. Little red wagon. And what's up, Michael? And, goofball. There we go. You are such a big goofy cat. Yes, you are. You are such a big goofy cat. Alright, and get this set to Don't Starve. Alright. Do this as well, because I keep having that pop up as an option. Alright, and back to that, and yes. I know, big guy. I know. I see you. Yes, I do. You like human, you have not been loving the kitty enough. Kitty requires attention. Yeah. Alright. Well, you're the one that's there. Now the headset cable is no longer a problem for you. Yes. Oh my god. Oh shit. Do you want to come talk about your IGG? I will gladly get you in on the stream and we could talk about it right here, right now. 'Cause you know I'm all about talking about me some good soy-free, reticuloid-free, good indie comics. Yes, I see you too, big guy. Hey. Da-da-da. I see, alright. Alright. Let me. Alright, I use Discord, just so you know, so. Also. Let me check. Uh, and. And. Alright. Didn't know I wasn't following you, but now I am. And. At least I hope I got that right. Let me go check. Alright, and. And. Do you think that's right? Alright. Oh, that's it right there. Alright. And. Alright. 44 days left. Alright. Good to go. Gorgonite. Shooting you a link on the Twitters here in a minute. And dink dink dink. So that stays there. And Gorgonite. Alright. That's the link to Mike's IGG. And byte. Copy. Right, link to my Discord. And come on. There we go. Alright. And now I'm all set on the end. Alright. Yes, I know you're there. I know you're so annoyed because I am not giving you lovin's. 'Cause, you know, cat logic. If you're not loving the cat, you're obviously doing something wrong. Right? Yes, I know, big guy. I know. Big, lovable cat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Alright. Alright, I gotta. Fuck. I can't fix any of that. Can I at least. Well. Alright, you're gonna hop down? Alright. Why am I not finding. What are the clockwork set at? Default. And I can't find them. Go figure. That sounds about right. Alright. Well, while waiting on Michael, let's get some, like, This is from today, right? Yeah.
Because by today's standards, one of the core tactics in the culture war is for people to dig up old posts on social media and then smear you for it, because by today's standards, they're offensive. But actually,
Yeah.
there are many people who posted things on social media that were offensive even by the standards of the past 20 or 30 years, notably some New York Times staff members who were called out by Breitbart, and New York Times was not happy about it. In response, the New York Times said a cabal of Trump supporters is launching a campaign to discredit them. And I'm being a little hyperbolic, but what they basically said was, in this story, Trump allies target
All right,
journalists
Gorgonite,
over
you have a
coverage
good
deemed
one.
hostile to White House. In reality, media critics, who happen to be conservative and some on the left, wanted to show that this tactic applies to everybody.
I'll hold off. But that does got my attention. Definitely got my attention. And let me. But yeah, dude. Yeah, Michael. Link to the Discord in your on Twitter message. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, you can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think
Word.
I think it's just in my settings I had it set to push to talk instead of just talk.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand. It was one of those. When I first started using Discord, I had to get it set up the way I liked it. Like, and I was resisting too. I did not want to use Discord. I so did not want to use Discord. Like, you get the
Yeah.
idea. I was like, no, I do not want. Why are you making me switch? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to I rarely use the talk. I just use it for like the little chat rooms and stuff, but
I don't mind using it to talk. I just don't. If I can avoid it, I'm going to.
yeah.
So,
It's,
start out. Booyah! Talking about the Seven Legions.
all right.
Because, it was one of those. I didn't even know your book had gone to Indiegogo, to be honest with you. Like, last I knew is it was. Ooh. You know what I mean?
It was what?
Last I knew is you were still working on it. Like,
Oh
so,
yeah.
trying to get everything set back up. Like, from where I was kind of playing a bit of a Tim Pool's, for him it's 4 o'clock, but for me it's 3 o'clock video. You get the idea. It kind of threw everything off stream-wise. Alright. So, elevator pitch time, bruh. What can you tell me about the Seven Legions?
The story, the short pitch is an orphan becomes a samurai who takes on a galactic threat. Yeah, that's basically it in summary. The short pitch. Yeah, it's a cross between sci-fi, fantasy, historical fiction. Think of it like Star Wars, where all the races are fantasy races, and the backwater world is Earth, and Luke is a samurai.
Okay. Now, so I take the whole thing pretty much, like, from what I'm gathering, takes place in more or less feudal Japan, correct?
Yeah. Well, half in feudal Japan. Like each issue is split into two halves. You got because Hiko dreams, like every night he dreams of the life of this angel named Azrakal, who served the Seven Legions for 2,000 years. He fought in all these different wars on all these worlds, and so Hiko has these dreams. They're actually the memories of Azrakal, and yeah, half of each issue is going to be one of those dreams / memories, contained adventure, and the other half is going to be the continued story of Hiko as he realizes that he's part of this bigger universe, and that this fight is his fight as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, you mentioned how like I guess you could say the elements of like Star Wars and whatnot. So it's basically they got elements of like space opera elements, I guess you could say, in it, or that
Yeah.
type. Like it is hitting a lot of various storyline beats from various like I should say story opera
Yeah.
in the past, or opera stories in the past, space opera story. There we go. That's the word I'm trying to think here. Not
Yeah.
doing a very good job, but I'm trying.
Yeah. So basically, like, um, yeah, each little story of Azrael, it's going to be like sort of gradually exposing the reader to the greater universe, and then like Hiko's story is basically just him like starting off just thinking these are just dreams. I'm just having these weird dreams that no one else can understand, and then gradually just sort of like he starts seeing beings from those dreams appear in his daily life, and then like as he's living in the Sengoku period of Japan, which is like chaotic civil war, like every clan for themselves basically,
Gotcha.
and his clan eventually gets dragged into that. If you've ever played anything set in that period, they're the Azai clan, and they eventually go to war with the Oda, which those guys wound up doing pretty good for themselves. As all I can really say.
Nice.
But yeah, so then eventually he's he's conflicted between having to choose to help his family that has adopted him, or leaving Earth to save the to join this faction, the Seven Legions, to save the galaxy.
Nice. It's one of those. I guess you could say the best way I can put it is almost similar to like this is gonna thought that I watched too much Futurama. The one Futurama movie. It's I can't remember the name of it. Give me a second, and I will tell you exactly the name of it. But it's the one. It's I think it's the last the last Futurama movie before Futurama came back on Comedy Central.
Let's see that. Is that the one where Bender travels through time?
No. That's Bender's Big Score, I do believe.
Okay.
Into the Wild Green Yonder, where you have like Farai trying to basically help the cephalopods and prevent the Dark Ones from killing the cephalopods and this, that, and the other. But he has to navigate through it so carefully because that means he has to help out, the Amy Wong's dad, seemingly destroy that. You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
that's the character's under that type of stress, to use that analogy. Like,
I'm trying to think about that.
where he has
trying
to
to think
where he has to navigate handling both situations very carefully in order to make sure both, he's successful on both fronts.
Yeah, so like with Hiko, it's like his clan needs him, like, but also all these people out in space need the knowledge that's in his head because I don't want to get into it too much because it'd be spoiler, but there is some secret knowledge that Azrael had that Hiko now has that will help them win the war, but eventually he's gonna have to choose between fighting helping his family, which is pretty well doomed because they got the Oda clan against them, which like to give you a basis of the Oda clan, there were 2 times in the Oda clan's history where they were up against an enemy that outnumbered them vastly, and they just dominated. Like, even though these armies were like, everyone else was like, "Oh man, you know what? I surrender. I'm not even gonna bother with you." The Oda like, the Oda would just like they'd apply strategies and they just wipe them out. So like, the Azai clan, being a smaller clan, they fought hard, but they were doomed. But yeah, so he has to choose between saving the galaxy or keeping his family safe.
Yeah.
But
No, it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting read. So I noticed you're a writer and whatnot. And did you like hire somebody to do the art and everything, and then you're going back and doing the colors?
yeah, so each half of the story is done by a different artist. You got Henry Ponciano. He's the artist for Tinseltown. He's doing the sci-fi fantasy side.
Okay.
But the main picture you see up there with the samurai stabbing down, that's actually the cover, and I'm sort of like alternating between the two artists for the covers. The other artist is Pablo Romero, and he's doing a really cool old school anime, old school manga style, but I'm coloring it like an old school anime. But he's doing in the book he's doing the samurai side, but I'm having them sort of switch. Like for issue 3, if we get funded to issue 3, the point of issue 3, then Pablo Romero is going to do this cover, but he's going to do a scene from the sci-fi fantasy side.
Gotcha. All right. So, move on real quick. Let's start going through your perks real quick before we get back to talking about the comic. So, physical copy, $20 perk.
Yeah. So with the $20 perk, you get you get issue 1 and issue 2. Issue 1 is 20 pages. Issue 2 is 30. And they'll both be signed, and you'll get your name in the thank you page.
Nice.
And if we reach the stretch goals, you'll also get issue 3, issue 4, and eventually issue 5. But if we reach 27K by some miracle, which, I mean, that picture you stopped on, the people in front of the fire, that was actually shown on one of Malin's streams, and him and EVS both loved that print, so that was really cool to hear. But yeah, so like, as long as I get my name out there, it's possible we could reach 27K, and at that point we'll combine all the books into a trade paperback.
Well,
and
you do have 44 days left. It is plausible.
Oh yeah, it's just launched yesterday.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, and then the next perk is the Enemy of the Legions perk.
Oh, I got the highlighted perk up above.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The $50. The $50. I was like, wow, that's a big jump, 20 to 100, man.
Yeah.
But do you have the $50 tier? What's all on the $50 tier?
You'll get everything that came with the physical tier, and additionally you'll get prints. And you'll start off just getting one print, and then it'll go up to like every few stretch goals you'll unlock another print. I've got that Henry Ponciano print of the samurai, and then I've been in contact with a few other artists. I don't really want to say anything until the art's done about who else I got, but there are going to be some pretty big names that are working on prints.
Nice. All right. Now we go to the Enemy of the Legions perk.
Yep. Yeah, so that one, you get the physical tier of you get everything that you get with the print tier, and you get you get drawn into the book as an enemy of the 7 legions. More of those spots will be opened up as we unlock more issues. So right now it's 5 spots. So in issue 2, we're going to have like the enemies of the 7 legions are going to be the orcs, which have enslaved the goblins, and the 7 legions are coming down to free them. So there is one scene that is going to be pretty cool where one of the dwarven characters, like they're all paratrooping down to the planet, and this dwarf, he's just gung ho, charged up for battle. He's jetpacking down to the planet. There's some poor orc just sitting there ordering his troops around. All of a sudden, this dwarf comes down on this jetpack and just wham, right in the middle of his head. And that's going to be one of the spots that, if you back that tier, you'll get to be the guy who gets the who gets a dwarf to the face.
See, that's cool though, and I like how you're trying to fuse the two elements and whatnot, and actually try to almost by something what you're trying to do is create something that is a unique experience and kind of, I guess you could say, is in a way it has elements of these things that have been done before, but have been reimagined into its own way. Because like what you're describing with like the space and everything sounds very much like similar to Warhammer 40k elements.
Yeah, I consider it kind of a more hopeful Warhammer sort of universe. There's no real like I know the Imperium of Man, and like I know the surface level stuff about Warhammer, so I know there's the Imperium of Man who are like really xenophobic and everything. Like, there's like an extensive lore with this universe too. And I actually have a website, 7legions.com, if anyone wants to really delve into that. There is a section for lore.
Lore is important.
Oh yeah. The humanity had once been part of the rest of the galaxy. They had actually founded the Seven Legions and had been one of the leading groups in the alliance that most of the governments are part of. But then they thought they could get a hold of the powers of the Seraphim, because Lucifer actually convinced them of that, and so they went to war with all of the others, and that war ended up with humanity on Earth being reduced to like basically being bombed back to the Stone Age.
Literally.
And that point is where human history as we know it begins. So like there are still humans out in space, but they're like either split between the like just small numbers of them among the Seven Legions. There's a group called the Enochian League, and then there's the evil factions like the Lilithian Empire, which is that's sort of a side thing. I would get into that, but it'd be like taking out a whole another path.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
All right, Soldier of the Seven Legions. What perk is that?
So yeah, with the Soldier of the Seven Legions, you'll be basically like you'll be drawn in as a Seven Legion soldier, and you'll get to choose what race you're a part of. And yeah, you'll be drawn in sort of a background character. And you'll also get all the physical tiers.
Alright, and I'm guessing Legend is where you get basically put in as a legend.
Yeah, you get put in as a character who will be of importance to that issue, at the very least. There is a potential that your character could return if they're if it fits the story later, like at least in name. The one I have in mind for issue 3, your character's that character's son will at least appear.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, and issue 3 is gonna be great. That's one that spawned from a mistake that the artist made in issue 1, but I saw that and I was like, oh man, that makes its own great story. Just
nice.
Yeah,
hey, that's like I said, it'll be definitely worth the read. I mean, you have a lot of really unique and interesting ideas. That's for sure.
Oh, thanks.
Like, it's just a matter of, first off, got to get it funded.
Yeah.
And, and hopefully you're able with the help of those you've surrounded yourself with.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be able to not only, when it comes out, get it out to people who will enjoy it, but also at the same time, it'll be one of those books that, I guess you could say, it will, here's what I hope. I hope every one of the indie books that come out now tries to step its game to match Wanpool level quality. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's a
and
big like.
it's like
Go ahead.
when Samedi announced his distribution thing, that excited me because with my budget on this, I've budgeted to massively overprint, no matter what level we fund to. So there'll be plenty of extra copies. So when Samedi gets that distribution set up, I'll be able to take advantage of that. Like even if like I have like a jawbreakers level of like damaged copies, that I'll most likely have enough that I can send it off to distribution,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm expecting most of my profits.
Hey, and it's one of those you mentioning profits. You mention a very valid point that a lot of people have to realize. And like indie creators, they don't have the, I guess you could say the built-in brand recognition that like
Yeah,
the big characters have. You know, like you could put Wolverine's face on toilet paper and schmucks will buy it.
yeah,
Let's just be honest. And when you have that level of brand recognition, it's easy for some nobody writer or artist combo to be able to, you know what I mean, work on a character and it'll automatically sell and automatically make money.
yeah,
Indie creators, they don't have that luxury. Like, even
yeah,
with all the problems that the big two is having with, sales and everything being down, that's that's with the built-in name recognition, and they're
yeah,
doing, you know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the fact that the pros have poor customer service skills, it would be guys like you filling those slots. You know what I mean? Because they'd
yeah,
look to the, because from everything I've heard, they used to look to like the indie market and be like, this guy's doing good, that guy's doing good, like what these guys are doing. All right, you schmucks can get out. Y'all get their jobs.
yeah,
And so hopefully this is your step to, when Marvel and DC do finally get their head out of their ass and decide that they don't hate money.
yeah,
They'll hire guys like you, like Troy, like Animator Josh, and so on and so forth, because of books like The Seven Legions.
yeah. Yeah, and it would be cool to work on some of those. I mean, maybe like X-Men or something. I do remember in middle school I did write some stuff for X-Men, but I did write some X-Men stories, but I don't know. I think doing my own stuff might be more my style. But
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you got Seven Legions to worry about.
yep,
And make sure to get that out to people for their face holes and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, and this universe I've created for this story it's expansive, and I can do branch off stories for years. Like there's one that's kind of like a sci-fi Clash of the Titans where corrupt Seven Legion soldiers basically tried to take over the Earth, starting with Greece, and then there was a little war there, and that would be a cool story to tell. And then there's an artist I met at Boba Fest this year. He was pretty cool, and we got to talk. He got excited by the concept of a dwarf on a jetpack. So so I'm gonna see if I can eventually get something like that started.
And his name is literally Jetpack Dwarf.
Yeah,
Like, that name is kind of uninspiring. It wasn't meant to be inspiring.
yeah, yeah. So like the thing with the dwarves, they're on a high gravity world, which is why they're so short.
Mm,
It's a very savage world, and all the monsters there are based on Norse mythology.
nice.
So you got the frost giants, which are like huge quadrupedal creatures with like a long neck with a spike at the end. And the dwarves, because their world is so hostile, they don't have the people to waste on wars. So they'll have this underground virtual reality world called Valhalla, where like they'll upload the minds of their dead, but also they'll go in there and settle their wars. They'll basically say, "This is what our group is fighting for. The other group will state their case, and then the dead will choose a side, and then they'll go to war. Whoever wins the war.
Wow. That's like, and I like that. But at the same time, it's kind of makes it. I guess the best way to put it is, the reason why I like it is because of the fact that it makes me think of, how it makes it to where war has a consequence with them.
Yeah, it's
Like it still has consequences. It's not like, for instance, the original series episode where Picard talks about, or where they not Picard, but Kirk gives a speech, because they come across this world where it's they just go into a machine, and whoever wins the war, their soldiers are basically the amount of dead lost is tallied and pre-decided and everything. And Kirk talks about how they made war so clean, so sanitary, that there was no reason to stop the conflict.
yeah, like, the
Similar
way
to
their
that?
society. Yeah, it's a similar setup, but like they'll sort of like once they go to war, once they rip each other's heads off in virtual combat, they'll sit down and have a beer together or something. But
Well, that's the way it should be, anyway.
yeah,
Like, I win. Haha.
Yeah.
Done. Later!
yeah, it's like, yeah, that's aside from that, with the dwarves, you have dwarven mech suits, which are basically like, think of it like a Nordic steampunk. The way I sort of envision them is kind of like the mech suits from Avatar, only Nordic. They're carrying around big old battle axes and war hammers,
Nice.
and then of course you got the dwarves on a jetpack.
Of course, because, they need that jetpack, damn it!
Yeah.
Just seeing if I can fix that, because if I can get... Oh, nope. Oh, I could do gold if I wanted to. No. We'll just apply that. Fuck it. Oh, sorry, I was setting up mods because of the fact that,
Oh, that's right.
like, alright. Don't know if you've ever played Don't Starve Together.
No,
Really fun game.
yeah, I think my gaming is basically split between Dynasty Warriors Empires 8, and like Fallout or Skyrim, that sort of stuff.
What's funny is I started this stream out by playing some good old-fashioned Oblivion.
Yeah.
Which is probably how I'm going to end the server, possibly. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Like... But for the most part, I'm like I said, I'm just kind of enjoying the. I'm going to see if I can change once I get this world created. See if I can change the mod of the world I've already created to where it's just gold, and then I can move. All right, in order to make gates in Don't Starve Together, you need. Well, first off, I got the mod to be able to make wall gates. Let's make sure to point that out. But the big issue is I need gears, but I can't find any clockwork creatures to get the gears. Like, motherfuck. But anyway, it's a real fun game. If you like survival crafting type games, you'd like this.
All right.
And the art's very Tim Burton-y, and that's kind of why I like it. Not even gonna lie.
Okay.
Just kind of waiting for it to load up so I can like save back out. Once it's loaded up, the rest is fine. This game just takes forever to load. That's just
Yeah.
I don't know why it just does. Like, but it's definitely, like I said, it's a fun game. Definitely a fun game.
Yeah. See, I think I played Ark Survival Evolved for a while. That was a good one.
Got that one. I just don't have the space on my computer for it.
Yeah, I need to upgrade mine. One thing I've figured is, as I get enough money, I'm going to upgrade my PC to where I can do VR, and then there's one game I saw. I think it's called Blade and Sorcery or something like that. Melee combat VR game. You can literally like, grab a sword and chuck it at someone's face.
That is awesome because I would do that shit too.
Yeah, you get hit with an arrow. You can just yank it out of yourself and stab someone with it. It is like the most badass looking game. It's like if there was, even if nothing else came out for VR, I would buy all the stuff for VR just to be able to play that game.
I don't blame you. I really don't. Oh, I don't even need to do that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna leave you in control of the stream for a minute, because I have to run, get coffee, and use the loo real quick. So yeah, just talk about some Seven Legions. Why should people buy your comic?
All right. Well, I guess I can talk about the characters. Let's see. You got Azrakal's main squad. They'll sort of they'll appear throughout the series. There's Azrakal, of course. He is a seraphim, which is one of 7 genetically engineered leaders of the 7 legions. And each one has its own power. Azrakal's power is the ability to create life. And that ability is amplified by his knowledge of genetics. Like if he knew nothing about biology or how organs worked, how to get life to work, something would appear and then just die. But he's a biologist, so he knows all that. And there's Alana. She is has deep red hair, deep red wings. An angel. She was found as a runaway, and she's sort of like a quiet, sort of real tough. She's studied how to use her psionic abilities better than anyone else. And the angels, they have a telekinetic push, like a force push, and the ability to create fire. So pyrokinesis, and she's focused her abilities to the point where she can basically focus the telekinetic push into a blade. And there's Midriel. She's a blonde angel, so blonde hair, blonde wings, and she's a sniper. And really highly skilled sniper, real quiet, naive. Always the butt of the jokes of the 4th squad member, Josiah, who is a what's called a blood elf, a blood eldrian. They have blood red skin, and they have a sort of telepathy that allows them to control others. But he doesn't use it because of a traumatic experience early in his life, which you will eventually learn about. And he is the heavy weapons specialist, and he has this massive Gatling gun, and he's constantly cracking jokes, the sorts that would get you reported to HR. And he, despite the fact that he's always getting on everyone else's nerves, he deeply cares for his squad mates, and basically tells that to calm their nerves, or tells the jokes to calm their nerves, no matter how much they want to beat the shit out of him.
So what you're saying is the fact that even though he constantly gets called to HR for his jokes, he's like, I don't care. I'm still gonna tell jokes. Jokes, jokes.
Well, they wouldn't really have HR in 7 Legions. Most of the people in that universe are sort of tough enough to take a little inappropriate humor, but
Gotcha.
He tells the sorts of jokes that would get someone reported to him.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, there's one line, one bit of dialogue. I'll sort of find that real quick. I think it's actually on the page.
Word.
Yeah, so they're walking through the hallway. It's been evacuated. He says, "Hey, we have the place to ourselves. Who wants to go streaking?" Alana, Midriel. Midriel replies, In your dreams, Josiah. Josiah says, "How'd you know?" She says, "Wait, what?"
That is hilarious. I like that.
Thanks.
Nah, see, and that's what's funny is it almost reminds me of, I guess you could say that line reminds me a lot of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer's early seasons where they actually had a sense of humor. Back when Joss Whedon was good.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like I don't know. By the sounds of it, though, you've put a lot of thought into the world and everything, and you know what's going on. You're
Yeah.
not just, I guess you could say, shooting in the dark, as the expression goes.
Yeah, it's I've developed it over the course of like 13 years. It's been through several different forms, but yeah, the last few it's been solidified, and I've got it to the point where I could take a concept that is vaguely sci-fi or fantasy and think of how it could work in this universe. But of course, even though it's a sci-fi fantasy universe, there's no actual magic. There's abilities, but it's all as close as I can, as much as I can, justified with science.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sold on it. But then again,
Thanks.
This strikes me as one of those, I guess you could say, situations where I hate to say it, the Star Wars universe better than the people who are working on the Star Wars universe.
I used to. In seventh grade I actually did write I did start writing a script for like some stories based in the time of the Old Republic. They were awful looking back because I was in seventh grade, but yeah, I learned a lot about the Star Wars universe in writing that, and just sort of.
No, that's good. I mean, isn't that the kind of the point? Do you know what I mean? To get better, to learn, live, learn,
Yeah.
improve. Like
Yeah.
the more writing you do, the more like even if you at the very least, I guess you could say you've learned more. Like you've refined your skills as a writer. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the big thing is the growth required to become a good writer involves, writing shitty fanfics, if you will.
Yeah.
Like it's part of the part of the journey, the growth, the grind. Yes,
And-
yes.
Yeah, it goes for art too, because like when I first started working on issue 1, we had a bit of a situation where one of the artists had to quit. He's the one with the more loose anime style. He had to quit like halfway through when he had when he had his work done. Good thing was it was in the middle of the dream sequence, so it's like, so I was able to work in a solution to that. But yeah, I ended up having to take over callers on his part, and well, I had someone for callers. They actually had to drop out too, so I had to throw out their callers. But he was honest enough to, instead of like most artists will do, run off with the money. He returned anything I paid him, which is, a really solid thing to do.
Definitely, that's how you.
Yeah,
Because let's be honest, that's one of the big issues. Like, especially in the indie scene, you have to kind of. People are worried because you do have so many people that have done some shady business practices and have caused problems.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, it goes once again. It's the pros. It's not the indie guys. It's not the guys who are trying to do right by those who backed them. No, it's the guys that already have money, already have fame and recognition. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like, so in the end with that, when I got to the end of issue 1, I was like, okay, I've done the colors myself. I'm like, I think they look good. I think I'm ready to go. I go on a stream with John Dillard. There was, I think, Todd Mulrooney and a few others. I was like, all right, this is my book. And like, well, these colors aren't so good. It's like, oh, and that critique though was the most helpful thing in my development as a colorist. And I took their advice and applied it. And now Malin and EVS just looked at one of my thing I colored, and they couldn't find any. Really cool to see that happened in the course of a year.
Yeah, it's like it also helps because of the fact that, come on, dude, you've been grinding on trying to get this done, talking about it before you even had any before you like I said, last thing I heard it was still in the you're working on it phase. You know what I mean? Getting everything set up,
Yeah.
ready to go. That was the last I heard. And now you're good to go. You've gotten, I guess you could say you've gotten the initial groundwork done. Now the rest is just follow through, and
Yes.
you got to make sure to get the word out there. Like, hey, do you want good comics? Do you want comics with awesome action sequences, badass samurais, and space battles?
Yeah.
Then you need to check your ass out some Seven Legion. 'Cause in this, we got all that. You like fantasy races and I guess you could say Tolkien-esque themes? We got it.
Yeah.
You like your hardcore sword fights, kung fu movie fights, and things like that? We got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing, the only real issue I had with issue 1 was just the artist dropping out or just not doing fast enough. But halfway through issue 1, that's when I got Henry Ponciano on board, and that guy, I pay him. He's got a page next day or two, and Henry Ponce, Pablo Romero is exactly the same. I pay either one of them. Like as soon as I pay either one of them, page ready.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dude, you gotta also take into account these guys there's a reason why they've managed to already develop a following and develop a name.
Yeah.
Because, well, quite frankly, they
do the work.
Yep. And you can't help but look at the finished product and go, damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean that was pretty much EVS's opinion when he saw it. He's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's it was great.
And it just goes to show, it goes back to the whole the old expression, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
These guys sound like that.
Yeah, it was funny. I showed Henry the reaction they had. His response was exactly the same. Holy shit. But, so they're both putting out good work, and they put out the pages fast. So I did set the release date for July of next year, but that's like the worst case scenario. If we get all the books funded, but there's delays with the printer or anything like that, so I should be good to go.
Basically, if you run into problems similar to what Cody ran into of Jack Irons, where he had it done, and it was just basically a year of, from what I've heard, of just fighting with getting the right printer done, so on and so forth. From everything I gathered, it was also he had one company just kind of wasn't going to print it and didn't even tell them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was, from what I gathered, he had a lot of issues that you normally don't have when, you do a comic or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm not even gonna be mad. It's
Yeah.
what's the, like, I'm just gonna look at it and go, well, good to know for when I'm there.
Yeah, and one thing that I wish I would see with these crowd funds that I'm gonna try and do is, as I do the update emails, I'm gonna say like what the progress is on each book, like as far as like ink, colored, lettered, and all that. That's like, because there's a lot of time like I don't. This isn't something that's expected. It's just something I'm gonna do. It's just like every time I see these emails, I'm like, oh, I understand the situation. I just wonder how close the artwork is.
Right. Well, it's like,
And so that's that.
take for instance, like, oh, I was not supposed to eat that. Oh well. Take for instance, like, Little Girl Lethal. Like, it's past due, but at the same time, you're not too worried about it, because even though, Jimmy may not, like, hawk the, updates and everything, like, something happens, and it's minor and could wait until he's got a few more things done, update, but doesn't matter. Jimmy, like, he's smart and doesn't just overdo it like that, you know what I mean? He waits. He's like, tries to give once a month update. Hey, this is what's going on. Things like that. And from what I've heard, he's getting close to, or his, I think it's like Ashcan is what it's
Okay.
called, for the Little Girl Lethal, or that Troy doing. It's almost done.
Okay.
Troy's almost got it done, ready to go. That's what the main thing Jimmy's waiting on. Also, he's learning how to letter. And,
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't know the first thing about it, it's going to be a bit overwhelming, I think would be the right
Yeah.
word. So, I'm not even going to sit there and act like these things can't happen. So that little extra time you've given yourself, be glad you got it. Because even then, you still may not end up reaching the goal. And it'll be of no fault of your own. It'll just be, the way the dice landed, if you will.
Yeah. And, like, if we just fund, like, if we just like reach that first goal, then we'll, like, in all likelihood, we'll be done well before next July. But yeah, I forget exactly what level I backed Little Girl Lethal on, but yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everybody's looking forward to that, simply because of the fact that it's one of those, I guess you could say, from the way Jimmy's talked about it and how it sounds, it's going to be a fun read. It's going to be a whole lot of, to take a line from Clockwork Orange, it's going to be a whole bunch of good old-fashioned ultra-violence.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be, like I said, it'll just be a fun read.
Yeah.
I may or may not have decided to go ahead and just get the immodest version. Like, I was like, some titties ain't gonna hurt me none.
Yeah.
Like,
There was a while where I was considering putting that sort of stuff in my book, but it's like, my family's gonna read this.
well, and that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
and, this is a kind of an ongoing thing that I've talked about for a while now, where it's like, I know a lot of y'all like to have your more mature themes.
Yeah.
Alright? I get it. I am not going to fault you for it. There's nothing wrong with liking to have titties in your book. Hell, I'm the type of person. I've read enough, or not read enough, but I've seen enough hentai, and whether it's in the manga form or videos and so on and so forth. Japanese will sit there and have the most graphic anime ever, and it'll have the most amazing story. Like, I used to have a meme of what looked like, you knew he wasn't naked, but it looked like Ash and Pikachu were sitting next to each other, and it looked like Ash was naked because of the way the shot was. And obviously Ash is wearing, like, swim trunks or something. But,
Yeah.
and it's like, when you've already finished your business, but the plot line's good, or but the plot's good. And it's like, yeah, that explained anime almost perfectly.
Yeah.
Like I was definitely, please.
And speaking of anime, one of the things I'm really thinking I'm gonna try and advertise too is there's that I stand with Vic crowd into anime. I think the old school anime, like the fact that I'm coloring that Pablo's pages to look like an anime, I think that's gonna be a big selling point with that sort of crowd.
Which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
I may not be an otaku, but I've watched my fair share of anime. I give people grief for being a weeb, but I really have no room to talk.
Oop. Cutting out.
I think I'm not sure what it is, because I was having the same problem with you. I think it just might be connection somewhere. I'm not sure if it's my end, your end, or just Discord in general. You know what I mean?
I'll see if there's something with the settings.
But
It might...
either way, the point still stands, though, that anime. The best thing about anime is it got a lot of us into other cultures, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you hear the people who claim to support other cultures get mad at the fact that we enjoy, anime and whatnot. It's like, well, I mean, that's the best thing about it, and that's why I guess you could say, like, you're starting to see, like, a lot of the old school guys that watched anime and enjoyed anime back in the day, like, you're seeing them blatantly say no. And that's one of the things I think we are slowly seeing in the comic book crowd. Like, especially nowadays, like, amongst current CG and whatnot, you're seeing people step back and be like, no, we are not getting involved in this culture war. We're done in the culture war. Let's just have our comic books. And that's what I'm trying to return things to. What's up, humble Marty? But I'm trying to get it back to where instead of worrying about factions, culture war, things like that, let's just talk about comics.
Yeah, there was during Gamergate, it was like the stuff that was going on with that slightly influenced the concept behind the villains, but it's not going to be like a drawing Donald Trump as one of the villains or anything like that. It's going to be like just subtle themes about them.
Right.
And that's the way it should be. Like if you have to include it, make it subtle so that it's not like beating anyone over the head with it.
Exactly. It's like the clip of Stan Lee where he's talking about, oh, Gorgonite, you missed a lot. You missed a lot. But where Stan Lee's talking about how he never tried to include politics in his comics because of the fact that he understood that. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh well. Because he understood that, a lot of various people read comics.
Yeah. And so the way I handle one of the central themes, which could be seen as political, instead of being it's like one of the central themes is like individualism rather than collectivism.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of being on the nose, these guys are bad, these guys are evil. It's more like you see the character experience examples of other groups that he's told are evil, and they're actually good. Like he'll get like among the nobles, he'll be like, oh, the peasants are all dirty, they're all cruel to each other, and they'll walk on each other for anything. You'll meet several examples of peasants who are really good and decent. At the same time, he'll have the peasants saying, "Oh, the nobles are awful. They'll they treat the peasants horribly," and you'll have those like his adoptive family, which will go out of their way to help the peasants. And like any group you come across, you see like there's the demon faction. They're most of their race, they're basically like space Nazis. They believe they're better than everyone else, and they're just waiting for the day when their creators will come back and lead them on a crusade across the galaxy. But you'll see one or two of them who will realize that's all. Like they'll actually go out and meet people from other races, and they'll realize, oh, these people, they live life just like me and my family. I'm not going to participate in this lifestyle anymore, and they'll go out and join the rest of the galaxy.
Exactly, and that right there is like one of the best lessons that you can teach, especially, and that's one of the things that always, like, for me, was one of the greatest things about comic books, was the fact that you could have people from extremely different walks of life sit down and they'll read a comic book, and you'd be surprised how much comic books can tear down boundaries, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel that a lot of people don't really understand, is the power that, and it's something that I feel that a lot of like lifelong comic book readers, they understand. Like to us it is, and it's all about telling good stories. And and I look at it like this. I mean, the fact that you purposely did not want your stories to become political. You did not want them to. You didn't want to make it like they're. I guess you could say talking heads were involved. Is the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Like
a political chick tract.
And it's like you just can't help but look at these comics that do that and be like, but there are other people who read comics too that don't agree, and I guess that's, like I said, it's why I try to avoid a lot of the like culture war now and things like that, because the best way I can put it, what happens after the culture war after we've won the culture war and this, that, and the other, what happens then? We've spent so long talking about it, we don't know what else to talk about. And even I'm struggling to find new things to talk about because of the fact that I've dealt with the culture war for so long. And it's like, let's pull ourselves out of this trap. Let's talk about comics. And let's keep like, do you get the idea?
Yeah.
That's why I keep trying to be like, I tie everything back to Seven Legions and how people need to head over to Indiegogo and back it now. Back it now, back it now. You will not be disappointed. It's
been about 13 years in the making, and I've it's gonna be complex but not overwhelming.
I like that. Complex but not overwhelming. I may have done some stupid. Oh no, you'll see it here in a minute if you're watching the stream. I was like, oh, my bad.
Let's see, I'm trying to think of anything.
Oh.
I think when you were gone, I talked a little bit about the Seraphim. Yeah, so Oh, I thought he was pressing F because the stream was dead.
No, he was pressing F because my character died. Because I was like, I got this. This is be easy. Bunch of spiders. Well, I really do want to get that thing gone.
Yeah.
The reason why is that will turn into a giant spider that will pretty much just eat my face, eat everyone else's face, your face, Gorgonite's face. You get the idea. It's just you don't wanna fuck with it. I mean, you can kill it. It has been done. I've done it, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's also a great way to get a hold of that right there, that precious silk. Oh! Yeah! Running! This is exactly why I kept my shit open. Where's my spear? Yeah, dude. No, but like I said, you could, now that you probably can see the, what I was talking about when I said it's got like the, like Tim Burton style art.
Yeah.
I will eventually go over and light it on fire. That's what I should do. Light the fucking, what'd you call it? The nest on fire. Take that, you little bastards! And that's what you get for being a bunch of spiders. Oh. Bad spider. I think that time I was able to kill him. Well, no you don't. Nope. Oh, there's a bird. Stop trying to attack me! This is my booty, not your booty. And go figure, I'd still get caught.
Yeah.
Like, no, a bit of a change of topic. May I say I am so, like, that is another one of those shows that can never be rebooted.
What?
That's another one of those shows that can never be rebooted. Like, because, let's be honest, Season 4, the season where Aaron McGregor was not involved, like, you could tell a blatant difference between how the previous 3 seasons look in Season 4. Like, the jokes, to me, it seems like they were like, oh, well, these jokes worked under Aaron McGregor, let's try them on our own. And it's like, it worked because he was funny. Like, he put put a lot of effort into it, and actually, I guess you can kind of say it's like, have you seen Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones?
Yes, that was great.
It really was. It really was. I loved that. Like, alright, so I heard about it by, of course, I watch Tim Pool videos every day and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, admitting he's like, oh, this has got the NPCs all pissed off. Like, huh. I mean, not that it's really hard to piss off the NPCs, but huh. You know what I mean? And so I watched it.
And he just didn't care. And he just didn't care that whole thing.
And it was like, this is what comedy used to be. Thank you, Dave Chappelle, for reminding us that it is okay to be offensive.
Yeah.
And oh man, that whole thing was hilarious. I was, what's even funnier about it, that whole bit where everyone was like, oh, you're mimicking Trump, la da 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 da. No, that is you. That's what you sound like.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of, go ahead.
It was just sort of funny that they were like that. Like, that was the first thing that popped in their head. Just like that the SJW sort of thing was. It's like, I think Tim Pool, like how he said it, it was people are seeing two different worlds, and that's pretty much how it felt, to seeing all the people thinking like, oh yeah, that's Trump. It's like, that's nowhere near Trump.
Right? Like, it was hilarious nonetheless.
Yeah.
Like I was, oh. And what's funny is like half of his skits he would be able to get away with today. Oh man, he would not be able to get away with it today.
Yeah.
And then you got the shitty Mind Dementia, which is pretty much his
Oh,
show,
yeah.
but not nearly as funny.
Yeah.
And Key and Peele was funny, but you know, to quote Dave Chappelle, you know, he had to get up there and watch every day them doing his show.
Yeah.
And I think that's valid criticism.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. But seeing that Chappelle show, seeing that Chappelle special it kind of made me inspired to really as soon as I'm able to do my second idea, which that one's gonna be so offensive.
Good. And you know I know it sounds bad that I'm like, oh good, la da da da, it's gonna be so offensive, but it's like, to quote Jordan Peterson, being offended is a good thing. In order to think, one must first be willing to be offended.
Yeah.
And
As just the broad overview of the second idea, I call it Girl Power. It's a parody of current Marvel. Each issue is going to be an issue 1. Going to be a 5-issue long series. Starts off with a girl with a lead character, Girl Power, in a coffee shop. She gets pissed off on social media, goes to confront the guy who pissed her off, gets stopped halfway down by a Doomsday-like character, thinks she can take him with one punch. She punches him, shatters her arm, and from that point on, the story is a redemption arc of her realizing that she had her head up her ass this whole time.
so basically, Captain Marvel had Marvel not decided to double down on her being a villain. Check it up. Just some guy did a video about that.
Yeah, it's basically yeah, she is kind of based on Captain Marvel, but she's just got generic super strength powers, probably on the level of Spider-Man. And that's basically it. But she thinks she's the best superhero ever, and then gets proven wrong when she tries to take on a world-ending level villain by herself.
Hey, how does that expression go? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, and like she's gonna get partnered with a character named Kill Count, who is basically every gritty '90s character combined into one, with an origin story that is essentially every '90s act combined into one.
I'm liking where this is going. I'm really liking where this is going. Like, it's for me. It's one. Of course, '80s and '90s. I was born in '83. You best believe those were the comics I read growing up. 2.
Yeah.
It's good to laugh at yourself, people.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
okay.
Let's see who. There's trying to think what I had, because I am gonna have a little subplot with the Kill Count character who, to where his son is basically what's his name? The guy who played Bruce Wayne in the Dark Knight.
Christian Bale?
Yeah, Christian Bale. I guess his son is basically meant to be Christian, and you know he's each time you sees him, he's basically in another Christian Bale role.
That's hilarious.
But,
like,
he's at the law firm one day, and it's like, you know, he's trying to reconnect with his son, and as he's leaving, his son says, "Alfred's gonna be a long."
Say that again. You broke up.
He says, he calls on his cell phone as his dad's leaving. Us, Alfred. Alfred responds, "Bat suit or raincoat."
That's hilarious. But it just goes to show, though. Once again, it's It's meant to be fun and funny, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not meant to be like overly serious and whatnot. It's meant to
Yeah,
be, we're making fun of things that you enjoy. Get over it.
it's gonna be very little of it's gonna be serious. There's gonna be like maybe like some heartfelt moments between like the two characters, like when the girl power character comes around and realizes she was wrong this whole time. There'll be some of that, but it's mostly gonna be humor.
Good. Because that's
But
what we need more of.
yeah,
Like,
there's one issue that's gonna be one of the little subplots gonna be parodying Mark Wade issue of Champions, where they, if I remember correctly, they basically caught some bad guy but let him off easy because it was punching down. I forget exactly what it was, but like it's been so long, but I think it was something to do with human trafficking. He's a human trafficker and they let him off easy because he's a minority.
wow.
Yeah, I think it was like 2017 when that happened. I remember a few people did videos on it, but yeah, I'm gonna be parodying that pretty hard.
See, and that's why I stopped reading comic books a while ago. Like, we're talking the last time I bought comics, like mainstream comics, was like when I started seeing the trend in like 2011, 2012. And I didn't really have the money to buy them all that often, so when I bought them, I would expect good, comic to read, but no. Nope.
Yeah.
Instead, it's, and that's why, like I said, it's all, this, when I stream, unless it's like specifically, because I do still want to do politics and stuff, but just not, I guess you could say, not right off the bat type deal.
Yeah.
But, it's why, come on, you got the backpack, that's a start. But, it's why I'm like all about the indies and whatnot, because let's be honest, if anything's going to keep the industry going, it's not going to be the major comics. And like the other thing I like to point out is how many of us did comics like help us become better people. I'm not saying we wouldn't have become better people without comics. I'm just saying comics helped us become better people.
Yeah.
And that's something. And that's something that I think a lot of people especially who didn't read comic books to begin with. Let's just be honest. A lot of these individuals unfortunately didn't. And so now we're like, and instead of listening, and that's the most tragic part about the current state of comics, is all of us were more than willing to step up to bat and help these guys out and get them, to make it where they can release amazing comics that everyone loves. That's the tragic part.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying when it comes to the indie scene and whatnot, and to comics in the current state, it's all about trying to stay positive and keep things like Seven Legions, where it's something unique and interesting. Oh yeah, Gorgonite, and that's one of the things that you missed was apparently Seven Legions is basically, like, the best way I can describe it. It's like a mix of like a kung fu movie mixed with a space opera.
Yeah, there's like, you essentially start off mostly on Earth with the lead character Hiko, who is a samurai, born as an orphan, who dreams every night of the life of Angel for 2,000 years in a galactic peacekeeping force. And yeah, he winds up being drawn into the war that Azrael, the angel, was fighting in.
So, if you like space odysseys and whatnot, you'll probably like this. If I remember right,
Yeah.
you're a Star Wars fan, so I think this would be right up yo alley, bruh.
Yeah, it's essentially being what's going to, what I hope to one day replace the now butchered and disgraced corpse of Star Wars.
And you know what's so tragic about that is the fact that, like, Star Wars fans are very much like, okay, you know, yes, you may have made some mistakes, but oh, I think I'm finally getting through the hordes of spiders.
Nice.
But like Star Wars fans, I mean, all of them didn't like. A lot of Star Wars fans did not like the prequel trilogy. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And so when you saw, oh shit. But so when like, and a lot of people, myself included, I did not know what to expect from A Force Awakens. I just know that I was looking forward to watching it just like everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what would have got me big time into the new series was if they brought in the Mandalorians, because I freaking love the Mandalorians.
Well, that's the thing. They, in a way, they are. Just you have to, you know, get that crappy Disney Plus that, let's be honest, nobody really wants. Like, who wants another streaming service? Like, how does the meme go? No one. Literally no one. Me.
Yeah.
This is like, or I should say Disney. Hey, let's get another streaming service. And it's like, you guys do realize, like, you had a good thing going, and you're ruining it. Like, how many...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I would have definitely watched The Mandalorian if it was on like Netflix or who. Yeah, something I already had. But if I got to sign up for another service, no, not worth it.
It's because there all these various like Marvel.
There's also Pirate Bay. If you really want to watch it.
And you don't. Let's be honest. You don't even have to go to Pirate Bay. That's if you want to watch it and keep it. Like, one of the things I've noticed is the fact that you can go online and find it where people have like recorded it off of the whatever, you know, and then like from what I can tell, this is what I think they do. They load up OBS, right? And then they will upload, like, they will watch the show while having OBS record it. Audio and everything. And then, boom, they upload it. Alright, and now the Mandos are going to get butchered. Let's be honest, they couldn't let Luke, Han, Leia, and the Force right. What the fuck makes you think they're going to give the Mandos justice? Yeah, he's not lying.
That's true. That's true. They'll find where there's a will, there's a way, and they've definitely got the will.
They just don't know the first thing about the way.
Yeah.
It's like they need like Ugandan Knuckles showing up and be like, "Do you know the way? I will show you the way."
Yeah, it almost feels like they're messing up on purpose. It's just so bad most of the time.
Well, it's a bit more nuanced than that from what I've heard. It's partly because of the fact that Lucas himself still gets a cut of a lot of the original trilogy stuff. He even said, from what I've heard, he even still gets a cut of like the merchandise. But anything new, well, Disney can pretty much cut him out of, because it is intellectual property that has been added to the Star Wars franchise after he sold it to Disney. So, prequels, Force Unleashed 1 and 2, you know, the game, all those.
Yeah.
Those are all pretty much. Let me go ahead and get that down. They are all pre-Disney acquisition. Everything else is after. So that's pretty much what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I can say this: they're not what they're cutting out. Screw over him, not replacing it with anything good.
Oh. Like, and that's literally what it is. It's them trying to pretty much, well, be Disney. I mean, this isn't. Let's be honest. There's a long list of like, we're talking several volumes of stories of people talking about how Disney screwed them over. You know what I mean? Like, that is in no short supply.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a shame, and it's why I focus so much on like the indies and trying to be a bit more positive, because you know what? Let Disney screw themselves out of free money. We're gonna be over here doing our own thing, practically making our own money.
Yep.
Let's see. It really feels like the people over at Disney Lucasfilms despise Star Wars. Basically, Disney is doing to Lucas what Lucas did to his ex-wife. It's like poetry.
Isn't that like a quote from Lucas? Like, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Right.
Or something like that.
I'm not sure, but that is fucking hilarious. And it makes sense. I mean, karma is a bitch. I'm just saying. And if you don't think karma's gonna get you, I have a bridge to sell you.
Yeah.
And what's funny, did you know that that expression actually originates from someone? It started out, all right, that someone tried selling the Eiffel Tower to people, basically to various scrapping organizations there in France, and they got away with it like 3 times.
Jeez.
And I'm not even playing. I'm not even gonna be mad at that. That is like grade A prime capitalism right there. Like, what? I just randomly died. But I think he did it like 4 or 5 times before they finally caught the guy, and each time they would show up and they'd be like, okay, like show up with equipment and everything, you know, looking at the surveying the area, trying to figure out how to do it, and then authorities would show up and be like, what are you doing? And then they'd show them all the paperwork and everything, and it's like, you got had. Well, apparently someone tried doing it with the Brooklyn Bridge, I do believe. Is what it was. It was and it's same deal. They got some schmuck, who once again didn't know what was going on, to buy a bridge, a literal bridge.
That's.
Let's see, ever wonder why Lucas remastered the original trilogy so many times? He wanted to make sure his ex-wife, one of the core pillars of making the trilogy, wouldn't get any royalties.
Oh, wow. Yes, that is karmic.
Yep. But, and from what I've heard from Star Wars fans, because I'm not a big Star Wars guy, I'm a Star Trek guy. But like most Star Trek guys, doesn't mean I don't enjoy me some Star Wars. I'm a Star Trek guy. But what's funny is, if I remember right, from everything I've heard from all the various like Star Wars fans, if it wasn't for her, the original trilogy would have been horrible. Like, basically, he ended up having people pretty much around him that was willing to tell him, "Nah, George, don't do this. Do you hate money? Because this is how you ended up not getting money."
Yeah. See, like I think I remember seeing something that they were going to do a comic series based on Lucas's original scripts, and I saw a little bit of that. like there were those like sci-fi movies in the 70s or earlier that it was like almost like that like low like I Plan 9 from Outer Space or something like that, or like one of those like where they were like in the foil suits or something like that. It's like this looked too like Flash Gordon, but like not as fun,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, it was. Like, it's gonna be
And
bad.
yeah, and then it got it seemed like it was one of those like I wasn't around at the time, but it seems like one of the first times that the sci-fi universe felt real.
Yeah, well, it's. I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that it was so like. I want to say it's so original, but it is original, but it isn't original, if that makes sense. It really, if you ask me, the only thing that the original trilogy did was he basically it just, I guess you could say, reinvented the wheel. Would be the best way I'd have to explain that one.
Yeah. But like one thing I say that like the Star Wars universe has above like all the other sci-fi, like most of the other sci-fi at the times, like you just look at those sets and it feels like there was like life happening around them.
But not in them themselves, right? Like it just you can tell there's things going on, but you're not necessarily sure what it is, I guess.
Yeah, like it just looks like like you on the sets. It's just like little things around, like just the detail in the sets and everything. So it looks like it's part of a living, breathing universe instead of like all those other like all those other sci-fi universes at like all those other sci-fi movies at the time were just like it feels like it was a stage.
Gotcha. Speaking of Plan 9 from Outer Space, I finally caught bits and pieces of that the other day. That was a weird one. Yep, Lucas is a great idea guy and even storyteller, but he is a mediocre at best writer. I know that feeling all too well. I can come up with a lot of good ideas. I'm not the world's greatest writer. I'm actually the... I'm just saying.
I think one thing about writing is that any creative thing is the worse you think you are, the better you'll do because you're always second guessing yourself. So you're always improving.
Yeah, well, you gotta, I'm not going to say that that's not true. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. But then some people are just terrible.
Like, well, it's one of those. I guess the best way to put it, Gorgon, I can tell you, I have a lot of good ideas. I have a lot of good ideas. I just don't implement them properly.
Yeah.
That's why it's one of the things I've stated for years. You know, you end up with things that are good ideas, really good ideas, just bad implementation.
Yeah.
And I have done that myself. At least attempted to. But, so, that's... Let me, do this real quick. Well, let's give the seven legions a quick refresh. See if maybe you've gotten another sail or two. No, you have not, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and give this a quick share on the Twitter.
Oh, you're cutting out, I think.
Sorry. Like I said, I'm not sure what it is. Well, I got the second guessing down, Pat. Well said, Gorgonite. Well said. I know that feeling all too well. Alright. It's like, yeah. And Gorgonite's got a good idea, too. He's got a real good idea. Like, when he's ready to, I guess you say, move on that, I know he will, and he's also got his addition to the Mythoverse that he's working on as well.
Okay.
So, here soon you'll see him here talking about this, you know, his projects and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I think that'll be definitely something cool to see. And, oh, you get the idea.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of stretching everything. Go ahead and close that out for the time being. Kind of trying to get everything set back to the way I had it. Okay, the window. So yeah, that's gone now. All right. I try not to have too many tabs open or windows open and things like that, especially when streaming, because of the fact that, let's just be honest, the internet doesn't like that. Internet doesn't like a lot of things, actually.
Yeah.
That's all that I have yet to do. What I was let's see, I definitely want to get that stored. Try to clear up space so I can finally attack that thing and be done with it. I'm gonna have to make another chest. But anything else you want to touch on with the Seven Legions? Anything fun you can think of? Cool tidbits?
I guess I could go over the powers that are in the universe. So it's most of the powers in this universe are based on like racial abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Eldrian, the elves, they have telepathy, and each telepathy, like each variation of the elves has a different type of telepathy. The main elves, they just have the normal communication. Blood elves have the ability to control others. The wood elves have the ability to create illusions for others. The dark elves have a telepathic EMP. They can basically shut someone down. And the angels, they have telekinetic push ability, which can be focused into a blade. And they also have pyrokinesis. But there's variations of angels that are genetically augmented. There's the thrones, which just have the powers amplified. And there's the seraphim, who are each given one of 7 powers, depending on the position they're selected for. So, like, the first seraphim has prophecy. The second can astral project through his mind to the minds of others. The third seraphim has a sort of precognitive reflex, kind of like Spider-Man's spider sense, but it's always active. It's not like a specific moment sort of thing.
Gotcha.
The fourth seraphim is basically like a living super weapon. They have unlimited telekinesis. So they're like almost Phoenix level. The fifth seraphim, which is what Azrakal becomes later in his, they have the ability to create life, but it's limited by their understanding of biology. So if he didn't understand how the heart works, anything he created would have a heart attack right off the bat. The sixth seraphim has the ability to create portals to and from a microverse where they are in control. And the seventh seraphim has a super speed ability that is based on temporal manipulation. So they basically create a time dilation bubble around them and move through time faster that way. And this has a side effect. It's kind of a temporal wake, where like the more they dilate time, anything in their path will age by that amount. So like if they're going like twice the speed of twice normal speed, they will like anything behind anything in their wake will age twice as much, and they can use that essentially as a weapon. So they could send that wake as like a wave at something, and it will corrode the metal and cause the structure to collapse.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I think as far as superpowers, beyond that, there's just really odd powers that hybrids will have. And then there's the Undine, which are basically the mermaid stand-in. They have a ultrasonic screech, which developed from sonar.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, do you look at, like, for instance, how an actual mermaid would exists, that's pretty much what they would have to use.
Yeah, like long distance communication. Just they when they use it on land, it just comes out as like a really loud blast. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's all that there is for powers without going into the more exotic forms.
Well, that still sounds cool. I'd
Yeah,
be lying if I said it didn't. I mean,
yeah,
I I'm I think it'll be one of those situations where if your book doesn't get funded, it'll be a complete and utter travesty because
I mean it's the way I see it. Like I've seen several campaigns that fail the first time around, but then they go again and they learn from their mistakes. It turns out better. So I mean, if I fail this time, I'll figure out what I did wrong and do it again.
hey, that's the best way to do it. No, 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 no! I had them all dead. I shit you not. You see all these spiders? You see all these spiders? They were dead. I was able to attack the nest and not get attacked. That's like if I could light the thing on fire, I'd just light it on fire and walk away. Like problem solved.
Yeah. Let's see if you want, I could go into the sort of how the hybridization stuff goes.
Feel free. Feel free. I have to take a quick trip to the loo again because coffee.
Okay.
Also need to get more coffee because coffee. If
Yeah.
if the game had flamethrowers, I'd use a flamethrower. All right. BRB. Oh wait, before I do that, I gotta definitely want that in my life. Okay, now I'll be right back.
All right. So in the Seven Legions universe, there are 9 races, at least as far as is known in the lore, and they can all hybridize. So you got humans, you got angels, elves, dwarves, the Undine, the demons, goblins, orcs, and the Faer, which are basically 9 feet tall. They have bug wings. And the most interesting types are the Nephilim, a human and an angel, a female, a human woman, and a male angel. Uh, will create a Nephilim, which is they grow uh, uncontrollably, and they have an insatiable hunger, and their unstable growth will lead to their early death. But then the opposite combination, a human and an angel, a human male and an angel female will create an imp, which is just really short. They got bat-like wings, but other than that, they're perfectly fine. And there's hybrids like the Averials, which are hybrids of a elf and an angel, and they have the powers of both parents amplified. And there'll be several of that class of hybrid, which they have intense powers that make them incredibly dangerous to others. And some factions will seek to weaponize them. But other than that, it's just little changes between the different hybridizations, just sort of like halfway point between the two races. And I use that to fill in some of the gaps in the different races. Like I didn't have hobbits, but a hybrid of a human and an elf will create a hobbit. Yeah, without going too deep, that's about without going too in depth. That's about how the hybrids work. let's see. I guess that's about all I have right after that. Oh yeah, halfling. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize that Hobbit was. Yeah. Well, they don't play very much of a role in the series. They're just. It's just something I came up with for the hybrids that. You know.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's like you're sort of thinking like what sort of effects would hybridizing between different races cause, but
Gotcha. No,
yeah.
I just came back to see a halfling. Don't want the token estate on your ass. I was like,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah. Halfling, that'll work.
Right.
Or Hob or something. No.
Yep. Maybe. But yeah, dude. All I know is just a lot of coffee in me. A lot of coffee in me.
Yeah, when I went down to Bubba Fest last weekend, it's a 6-hour drive, so I get the Black Rifle coffee.
Mm.
I get the calf blend, which is like double caffeinated.
Mm.
So I got like a big old water bottle of that, and just anytime I felt myself start to get tired, just chug.
Oh man, no. I I don't like Black Rifle. It gives me serious heartburn for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm the type of guy. If you, I remember you watch my content fairly often. You know, coffee's part of my thing, man. And so when coffee gives me indigestion, that's everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Like, I was definitely disappointed at that.
Yeah.
It's like, but. Let me see. I'm trying to get I may have to just make a quick phone call. Hold up. Give me a sec.
Okay. Let's see. I guess I could talk about the star fleets that we got. So the 7 legions, the way their fleets are set up, and there will eventually be space battles, which I'm looking forward to doing. They have the central fleet ship, the galleon, which is what all the other ships will attach to or go into for long distance travel. So it has what's called a O'Neill cylinder, which is a rotating habitat that uses centrifugal force to generate artificial gravity, and they'll be set up so that so like they can have like it's basically set up to be like a sort of like livable environment for like intent for extensive for long expanses of time, so that they can so they're not like getting like not living some dark dank little tube.
But
So that
dark dank little tubes are all the latest rage.
Yeah.
Why are you denying us dark dank little tubes?
Yeah. So there's actually one page that actually shows the inside of one of these galleon ships. It's on the Indiegogo page. It's the third image down. Yeah, that's the page where you first see one of these ships.
Gotcha. I closed the.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, trying to help with the stream.
Oh,
It's one of those. I personally think it's because my computer is like an 8-year-old. Well, not 8-year-old, but it is an old computer. It's 5 years old. And let's be honest, once you get out of a year, you're pretty much. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So.
Yeah, mine sometimes sounds like a jet engine.
Yeah, I know that's feeling all too well. Alright, I'm tired of fucking with this spider's
Yeah,
nest for the time being. Res, come back later.
yeah, yeah. So that's like the setup of the Seven Legions fleets. They got that ship with the O'Neill cylinder, a self-contained environment, so that they can live out years in space, without shooting themselves. Um, and all the other ships will attach to that. And like, there's the galleons, which are the big main fleet ships. There's the frigates, which are basically cannon ships. They have rail cannons that will do orbital bombardment or ship-to-ship combat. They got drop ships, and they've got an entire fleet of fighters and bombers with a fighter and bomber factory built into the ship, built into the galleon. So
Makes sense.
yeah,
Like,
that's how the majority of the fleets in this universe work.
uh, yeah. Either way, it just goes to show that, like you said, you've put a lot of thought into this. And let's be honest, though, when you are, I get to say, when in the end product, it will show. Like it's the best
Yeah,
way I can put it. You'll see people will appreciate the little things that you did to make it work. You know, the little changes that you made throughout time to characters that you're like, oh, that's like, okay, take for instance, uh, my Raziel. All right, my character, way he
yeah,
was when I first created him and the way he is now, two different characters.
yeah,
And like one of the things that I really wanted to change, and which is why I stressed on it with you in your book, and the fact that you're trying to keep politics out of it and everything, keep it a fun story.
yeah,
I'm doing the same thing. Why? Because people don't want politics. I want it to be a fun superhero story for the sake of being a fun superhero story, and then I want it to over time become progressively darker.
yeah. And what like that? Speaking of character changes, that's one of the things. Like I had this story written out as a novel. I had like 26 chapters written down, and then my computer ate it. And oh yeah, so yeah,
Oh.
I started rewriting it, and I realized some of these. Like in that version, the character Josiah, the blood elf who likes to tell pervy jokes, in that version, he was an angel aristocrat who was just one of the most boring characters. But yeah, when I rewrote it, I was like, oh, I can completely change this guy now. He's now a elven heavy weapons soldier who hates his people, hates to use his powers, but loves to tell pervy jokes.
Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with enjoying some pervy jokes, man.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that at all. For the time being, I guess I'm going to switch that to there and then get rid of the mini. Because I'm not playing anything right now.
okay.
But,
But,
I mean, like, that's. I guess you could say pervy jokes. There's nothing wrong with pervy jokes. Hell,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with being a little bit of a perv. I mean, as long as you're not actually out, you know what I mean?
yeah, not doing anything bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, yeah. I guess you could. Prime example of that is like I was saying, like Little Girl Lethal. Just any like hentai. Prime example. It's funny. Apparently, animator Josh was wearing his "Ask Me About My Shitpost Agenda" T-shirt, and from what he posted, I actually had two people today stop me to ask me about my shitpost agenda.
nice.
Yep.
Man, I'm not sure if I backed on that level, but I might have to get that shirt someday.
Oh, dude, that. Hopefully, the next like for issue 3, they do something similar, and except
Yeah,
maybe like it's a cap or something this time.
yeah. See, like if my campaign winds up raising about if I actually get to the point of getting 30K, I intend to get like the tattoo of the Seven Legions symbol I kind of want it to be someone in this indie community. That'd be great. Just, someone. I guess I know we got a lot of tattoos, but like, just
If
being able
you
to
go
support
to
some.
anyone other than Troy,
Yeah,
I'm just saying, Troy will take care
yeah,
of you, man.
he's one I was thinking of.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like I was joking around with some people from at my church on a trip to Tennessee. I was like, if we wind up raising 100,000, I'll get a freaking tramp stamp.
That is hilarious.
I highly doubt we'll get there, but if we do,
Right. I like that. It just what's even funnier is you say that, and the first thing that pops in my head is the I think it was a beer commercial with the guy that had the tramp stamp,
yeah,
and like he doing everything he can to show it off. Like you
yeah,
no, I there's a reason why we call them tramp stamps. Why do you have one?
and see, like the thing is with this title art that we got for Seven Legions, man, it's the right length for a tramp stamp. Yeah, and it looks great. It look good right there above my shorts.
Right? No, dude. Then and like I'm sorry. This is my response to that. Like, if you get a tramp stamp, you need to be slapped and told to do it, or you're about to. I should say, you need to be slapped and told do it right. You get what every other musclehead get. You get the barbed wire band on your arm. Just saying.
Yeah.
Now I have more reason to dump a bunch of money into this.
Heck yeah, dump as much as you can.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me give this a bit of a shot. It's supposed to be like Metroidvania.
Alright.
Let me double check. I've been on a weird, like, old school Metroidvania kick and whatnot. Like, I was half tempted to try to figure out how to stream using my Xbox so I could play Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
There was some game that was like a Metroidvania that came through my Twitter feed, but then Twitter did that little blip thing. We'll just skip ahead and you never find it again. But it looks so cool.
I know. I think the one I was looking at was Mind Freak, I do believe. Like they had the demo out for it.
I think I saw that one the other day.
And because what was brought my attention to it was they were talking about how they were showing off how they had the main character shooting his gun, and you'd see the casings from the bullets fall around him and go in different directions.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, I would definitely play that. Like I said, like I recently played through most of the way through. I need to finish it up. I'm at the end. I'm just trying to get all the extra stuff. You know what I mean? The last of the missions and character maxed out and things like that before I finish. Like go through and finish the game. And that's a Dust and Elysian Tale. Good game, really good game. Like if you like Metroidvania type games, that's so totally one to play. I also have the Vagrant. I've streamed that one, but that's also I have a weak spot. I'll admit it for fan service. We'll just say it. Leave it at that. I have a weak spot for fan service. Hey man.
Likely to get channel strike. Then.
Say that again.
Likely to get a channel strike if you play that one then.
All right. Well, for me, it's let's just say I looked at it, thought it was interesting, and was like, okay, well, let's check it out. Yeah. Let's just say one character has literally the only thing keeping her from exposing herself is a belt strap across the nipples.
Nice.
I was like, well. Alright. But, I mean, the main character, basically you run around. I really can't explain the story. Basically, you end up marooned on an island, forced to work for a academy witch because she put a curse on you. And if you disobey her assistant or anything of the such, she basically can use that curse to kill the main character.
Huh.
And come to find out, the academy is like this. I guess picture. Did you ever play Dragon Age?
Yeah.
You know how in the second one you overthrow the circle and everything and make it to where mages don't have to be attached to the circle? Because, lest they be classified as apostates and be killed? That's kind of what from what I can tell, that's kind of what the Academy is. It's that group. Except where the circle was actually meant to be like was meant to be, for the most part, a good thing. It was meant to be a safe spot for people who can do magic to learn and so on and so forth. It's just unfortunately they are forced into it. Instead, in this game, it's you join and you get indoctrinated into, from what I can tell, an extremely militaristic group that is bent on world domination.
Okay.
I like this. Basically, one guy made the game, Dust, and it's a 7 years old now. What the fuck is your excuse, mainstream gaming? Where's the lie, though? Where is the lie?
Yeah, back during Gamergate, I actually tried to turn Seven Legion to a game, but I learned very quickly that if you don't have the right skills, then you got to hire that out, and you wind up spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a quote from one guy. It would have been hundreds of thousands to do it.
Yeah.
So
because
that's just like, well, that's probably why Gamergate wasn't very productive.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the fact. See, the biggest problem that Gamergate had was the same thing that you saw with like Comicsgate. You had those who had their own interests involved, or I guess you'd say not involved, but had their own interests in mind getting involved. And it's like, you know what? Fine. That is fine. We'll just be over here making some badass comic books anyway. We'll figure out a way to, you know what I mean, get your Seven Legions video game made. It's just, it'll, like all things, takes time.
Yeah, it's gotta get a studio interested in it one day, and yeah.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, Gorgonite says, hashtag mages don't deserve rights. Dude, let's be honest about it. How many games shows you have the good guy and so on and so forth, end up like getting into this magic school and like, yeah, I'm all set, ready to go, and then he gets in and for every Harry Potter there's at least a dozen, I guess you could say, what would be a good example of where you find out it's just pure shit. I guess you could kind of say you know what's sad is any other time I could name off at least 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the big organization at the main, like the Skulls, prime example, organization end up being evil. Then again, a secret society, of course, it's evil. You know, the Empire, to an extent, the Ministry of Magic in the Harry Potter universe could be classified as a bit totalitarian with the way they handle things. More so the American version, because they wouldn't even let, you know what I mean, the people who can do magic marry those who cannot do magic. Just saying. And even in the Dragon Age, it was still, they were still kind of bad. They weren't super bad. They just kind of bad.
Yeah.
They were oppressive because of they punished all mages for what the bad ones did.
Yeah.
Let's see. Unlike Gamergate, CG actually achieved its goal. There's a
Yeah.
metric ton of exposure to indies, and now most of the CG keep it alive in order to be relevant. You know, he's not lying.
Yeah, it's,
Like,
and like, there's a lot of groups, like a lot of little communities and comics, and it's been a great resource. It's like, you know, a lot of people connecting together, finding people to partner with for projects, and like that's actually I got a side gig doing collars for Dusty Tortillas because I was in one of those DM groups sharing some of my art, and like, oh hey, we need new colorists. You want to take over? Like, yeah, sure. And then, you know, they went on to the show, and someone else saw my colors from them, and I got another gig. So,
hey, and that's how it generally goes too. I mean, I'm learning how to do some coloring. Like,
yeah.
just I'm learning coloring. I'm learning lettering, mainly because of the like. Have you seen my coloring?
No, not yet.
Have you seen any of Nephilim's End?
Nephilim's the name.
Alright, give me a sec. I got you.
I don't.
No, that's not a problem. That is not a problem. You gotta. I will pop it up. You're watching the stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can get. Like, unfortunately, the downside to lacking in Hangouts or not having Hangouts is where beforehand I could just show you, you know what I mean? Which, I I need to get the font set up. I'm going to be doing that over this next week. Get the fonts that I've currently done ready so I can just, use the fonts for, the the actual comic. That like drives me so nuts. I've made so many mistakes, like, but at the same time, I was able to fix it somewhat. It's part of what's taking so long for me to get any updates on Nephilim's End. It's because of the fact that I'm trying to do all this, and I make a mistake, and then I'm like, well, shit, and I have to restart because now I'm trying to actually draw on paper. So, but oh wait, might help. I'm sitting here like, why isn't it showing up on the screen? Oh wait, herpaderp. I feel bad dumb. Let's see, there we go. And switch cameras. So, doo-doop, doo-doop, and open. Alright, window capture, there we go. Alright.
All right. Takes a few seconds for the stream to catch up.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm sitting there looking at it like, why isn't it? Oh wait.
Yeah.
Totally forgot. See, I will know. Watching the stream, it's like, there we go.
All right.
There we go. I'm back in the corner. And then booyah. All right.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah.
Like the colors, like everything is me, mind you. I'm just not, like I said,
Okay.
I'm not very not very good. But I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. What program do you use for colors?
I've been doing all of this actually on my phone using ArtFlow. Like,
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
switched to drawing it physically. Like, that drawing was done physically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the program I use for colors is called Krita. It's really good and it's free. But it's got a lot of cool brushes and yeah, it's
Shoot me a link to it over Twitter, and I'll check it out. Cause like Artflow, I picked up for like $4 or $5,
yeah.
and I was using the free version. It's just that I wanted to be able to not have to worry about constantly going through. You know what I mean? And the one that's on screen now, that's actually the last page, full page, if you will, I dropped.
Okay.
And then let me.
Yeah, like one thing, one advantage Krita has, even over Clip Studio. There's this tool for Krita. It's like a fill brush. It's amazing for flatting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just have to turn anti-alias. You just have to turn off anti-aliasing,
Gotcha.
and it'll make crisp, clean edges, and once the picture's flatted, it's real easy. Like if maybe if you're doing something for someone else and they say, oh, well, I don't quite like this shade of brown you used, you could just real simple, just select that color, loop cut it out, and then replace it in seconds.
Nice.
So yeah.
And like I said, I had the. What do you think on the colors? Is my question though. I think I got for the most part, I got the basics down. I just need more work.
Yeah. Yeah. The characters seem to stand out pretty well. There's a guy you should watch. K. Michael Russell, I think is his YouTube name. He's a professional colorist, and I've watched a lot of his lessons, and it's been real helpful. But like one of the things I think he said was to use more like think of the things you want to have focused on the panel, and use like slightly warmer colors on them, and even just like putting like a slight transparency of red over something that will make it stand out a little bit more, as long as you don't dull the undercolors, and like more contrast on the things you want focused on, and anything you want pushed back, darker, less contrast, cooler colors. So yeah, that's the basics I've seen.
All right. Well, that's why I'm asking, because like I'm trying to get better. If nothing else, I'd love to see the comic itself actually, you know what I mean, pick up, get better, and part of the reason why it's been taking so long is because of the fact that I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to figure it out.
And I think Eric Weathers actually, I think he did a few videos on lettering, which he's getting hired for pretty much any project coming out. So I've been following his direction on when it comes to lettering. But yeah, I know Von Klaus. He's doing Monster MD. He gave me a link to a website for if you want to learn more about lettering. Yeah.
Hey, no. I completely understand. And like for me, what I've been doing with letters and everything is I've been actually I picked up a lettering kit.
Okay.
And I've been working on it. Like, if you go through my media on Twitter, you should it might take you a bit because I practically share Tim Pool's videos every day. But you will find that I've been working on actually getting the fonts correct. I just go figure. I didn't realize until after until I actually got looking at how the fonts have to be done, that I actually need all uppercase separated, all lowercase separated, numbers Like, I need the whole 9 yard in order for it to actually really work. Like, I can get away with not doing the symbols, but like the letters for sure have to be, and you can't like, because the way I was trying to do them was the uppercase and lowercase, like A uppercase lowercase, B uppercase lowercase. You get the idea. Well,
Yeah.
but then again, I've seen both be used, so it's weird. I'm going to have to actually like hop onto forums and like see what everyone does to be able to how they create their templates and everything.
Yeah.
But the idea is like make the templates, load it up on my computer, and then from there I can do pretty much everything I need to do with. Like I don't really know what I'm doing, Bob Jones 2019. Yeah, well, I'm not lying. If I
I'll post the link to the the lettering website on the Discord.
Appreciate it.
They got a few fonts on there for free.
Well, I think it was something like a Blambot or something was where I found a few that I was using, like the Nephilim's End font, or it actually where the last page I should say I uploaded, and so that's where I got it from. It was there, but still, either way, I'm just kind of meh. Alright, I'm good on this for now. Not really in the mood. Alright.
No.
You must have some people walking by or something.
Yeah. The dog just likes to once a day freak out about some squirrel or something outside. I don't know.
I like that. It happens though. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't argue that, cause our dog here. But that's what she does.
Yep. Well, I think it's getting close to supper time, so thanks for letting me come on, promote my book. It's been fun.
Oh, not a problem. And hopefully we'll have you on a couple more times. Probably for sure Friday. I'll try to get a hold of you before then, or not Friday, but Thursday. Okay. Night is Meeting of the Minds. We'll try to have you on then. That's when we this is just a kind of, I felt like doing a stream type deal.
Yeah.
Streaming my vidgya game. So I'm probably gonna, since you're leaving, I'm probably gonna go ahead and call this one.
All right.
So once again, folks, if you want to help back good quality soy-free comic books, go ahead and check out 7 Legions. And where can people find you on Twitter?
It's at 7 Legions Beacon. I'll type it in the chat.
That might be a bit difficult because for some reason it doesn't let people who don't have a wrench post links, but okay, that works. That works.
Yeah.
And Gorgonite, of course, will probably post another. Well, I guess not. Later. Whoops, I guess not. But, yeah, no. But seriously, head to Indiegogo, folks. Check out the 7 Legions. It's, like I said, like we've touched on several times, it is a mix of space opera with kung fu movies and comic books and D&D and just all the good stuff in between. So, head over there and check it out.
And if you want to learn more about the lore or anything, 7legions.com.
All right. Well, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and bid you folks